a week, dude. Like, not even kidding.
Every day of the week?
Yeah.
They're the steel tap?
No, I actually have 2 jobs, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. I got dos
Oh damn.
trabajos.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah, dude, for real. I don't.
Car
10
broke
out of
down
10
and it
wouldn't
cost,
recommend.
Fucking cost like $500 to fix a car. And then like the water heater went out, cost like $600 to fix a water heater. Just fucking cut me out and give me a whole new life already, dude. I'm tired, man.
Right.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired, boss.
That's too damn bad.
I'm telling you, man. It's fucking ugh.
Yeah, dude. 10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
Wouldn't recommend life. Wouldn't recommend. 10 out of 10. Let's get it, boys. Woo! What's up? Welcome back. It is Sunday night, and you're here with the Average Boys podcast with the trilogy, the trio, all together again. We got Brian on the hot seat. We got Triggs here in the studio, and here I am, Crispy, with you guys. It's good to have you back, Brian. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
Yo.
Triggs, I feel like you get like every other day I get to see you.
Dude, for real, man. I'm if I'm not doing one thing, I'm doing another.
Yeah. No, I feel it. Boys, what it's been. Brian, I feel like you deserve the most opportunity to come and tell us how your whole thing's been going, because people have been asking, where's Brian? Where's Brian?
All right. Well, I mean, I told you guys I was going to take a little bit of a break. Been working on Sundays, making that money. And today I actually had the day off. So I decided, you know what better way to cap off a great weekend than to hang out with my boys, man.
Indeed. You got to do some traveling. We got to give you a shout out.
Yeah. I traveled to Arizona last weekend, I should say. Great trip. I always get to reset while I'm out there. So that was really cool.
What was the weather out like there? Was it pretty warm?
It was warm, but you know what? It wasn't like too warm. You know, it wasn't that like hot Arizona. Like, it's the winter over there, right? So it was like 70, 75 the entire time.
Just like,
man, lucky you, dude. Lucky you.
Great.
I've never had the opportunity to ask this, but when you get to travel outside of like the Jersey, New York area, and you get to go to something like that where it's kind of like, I mean, I think Phoenix is pretty much another just big city too, right?
It's a huge city, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. I was gonna say, like, do you get a lot of that, like, you could kind of smell the pollution like clear up in the air kind of thing?
I mean, you mean like if it's similar to New York? No. The answer to that, because
okay.
New York is like one of a kind. So I don't care what city I go to, it's not going to resemble what New York is. That's a totally different beast from any city that I've ever been to. But but you know what, Phoenix, it's like its own vibe, and that's what I appreciate about it. So like when I leave New Jersey, New York area, that's what I'm looking for, you know. And question, why is it so expensive to get to the fucking valley? Why?
Dude,
I have no idea, dude. It's so hard for us to get out of the valley.
Yeah, we really are like our own little country here. It's so fucking expensive.
It's so mind blowing, because like my whole plan was, because I've been off the last 3 weeks. My oral surgeon that I work for, he was off for the last 3 weeks, which meant that I was off for the last 3 weeks. And so I was planning on trying to do something where I'm going to Arizona, but before that I would go to like, you know, the valley to come check you guys out and hang out for a little bit. But
dude, that would have been sick.
I'm looking at the fucking prices. I'm like, yo, it cost me just as much to get to London as it is to get to fucking the
Texas
valley. We're like the Dubai of the United States, bro.
I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck is out there? Why it's so expensive? Like, I get it. You got to take, well, for me, I got to take 2 planes to get to you guys, which is fucking crazy.
Fucking insane, dude.
But I get that part, but it's like $700 to get there.
That's bonkers, man. That's so weird, because I've never heard someone like tell me.
Do you know where you can fly? Like, do you know where you can fly for $700, dude? Like somewhere where there's
cooler shit.
Yeah,
supermarkets, man. At least
to put it lightly. to put it like
It's cooler fucking places just in general, man. Wow, that's wild. I've never heard someone tell me that it's hard to get to the valley because of the price. But then again, I mean, I think it was you that told me one time that you were watching and like just pop-up ads about houses in the valley being like $1 million and then being like super wild looking, and you were like, God damn, that's crazy, man.
Well, I mean, it's true, dude. Like there's a few places over in Mission, bro, and I'm like not even kidding, 1.5 million will get you seven rooms, 5 bathrooms, like a 4-part car garage, like yeah, and that's like, 1.5 mil.
Yeah, it's baller status, and these guys are just working at Walmart, man. Like David, what's up, David? He says it took 4 flights from North Dakota to get to Texas.
Bro, do you know how long like, do you know how long it would take me to get to North Dakota from when I was stationed in Kansas? It would take me 9 hours.
Jesus Christ, dude.
One way, 9 hours.
I'm telling you, it's wild. That's and you know what? Like, just driving out of Texas is a fucking nightmare, dude. From South Texas. Like it takes almost a whole day to get out of Texas.
Like honestly, I was looking at flights to get in, like to fly into San Antonio and then just drive down to the valley because that'll be fucking cheaper than fucking taking.
Oh, dude, I bet it's like $300 cheaper, right? Some shit.
Hell
like
yeah. Just rent a car and then just drive the 4 hours.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of like the way a lot of people do it. Actually, they'll get dropped off like that here. The only 2 ports that we have here for airplanes are Harlingen and McAllen.
And
I think the Harlingen is. I think the Harlingen is cheaper.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The McAllen and then the Harlingen airports. Yeah. Those are both just as equally as fucking expensive.
And they're shit airports, bro. Like
McAllen, I've been to McAllen. Nice. I've been to McAllen. It's literally like the size of like my fucking house.
Public library, dude. Like it ain't shit, dude. It ain't shit. It looks like a bus station, man. But they got fucking.
Dude, the bus station's bigger.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But man, that's fucking crazy. $700 to get to the valley.
Yeah,
just for comfortably peace and quiet and a lot of driving space.
Yeah.
Like because nothing's close together. 45 minutes and you're still in Edinburgh. Like you know what I mean? It's just wild as shit. But man,
and that's with light traffic.
Yeah, there was parts of me that were like, man, Brian's just like right there, man. Like a whole,
it's not fucking right there, bro. Like it looks like it's right there, but it's not, yo.
Because like you are, but you're not. Like
you're not. You know, yo, it's funny because like able for me to get. Let's say I went to Arizona first, right? Because I looked this up too. I thought about breaking it up to where I would go to Arizona first and then hit, you know, the valley before I came back home, and then it was so much. You still had to take 2 flights from Arizona to get to where you guys are. For some reason, there's no direct flights from Arizona into McAllen Airport, so I would still have to fly all the way to fucking, I don't know, Dallas or some shit like that, and then fly over. It's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, dude, let's do a hot Cheetos and cheese fundraiser so we can bring fucking Brian down.
Dude, Takis or some shit like that too, dude.
Yo, that's my boy Jeremy right there. Shout out to Jeremy. Saw the fucking movie twice already. Yeah, dude. That's the man.
Badass. That is commitment, because that is 6 hours that are just gone. They're in the fucking.
But well spent, just so well spent though, dude.
It's well spent. We'll get to that, but
yeah, we'll get to that later, you know. But
Jeremy has been on the show with us before. Shout out to Jeremy, and he's very critical like us when it comes to film and holding studios accountable for making good films. And every movie I feel like Jeremy has seen, and every time I see a comment he leaves, like in the last couple of months, has been like, well, that was a fucking waste.
Trash. Guys, it actually wasn't that bad. Are you sure? Because it was trash. It looked trash.
When I saw Jeremy's post where he's like going to watch this movie a second time, I was like, all right, fuck, I gotta see it. Like, I gotta see it now. Like, I have to, because of course, like we talked about it before, that experience of going to the theater pre-coronavirus and enjoying ourselves at the theater and really having fun, like that feels like something that's been long and gone for such a fucking really long time. And I was just talking about this the other day. Well, Triggs will get this. I don't know if it was like that for you guys, Brian, upstate, but like there was a time where like every weekend you would see like a bunch of high schoolers like just chilling out at the theater, like in the front, just hanging in the front. Like we had our
but that was like when we were still teenagers.
Oh, was right. That was literally right before coronavirus too.
Yeah, man. That's why like, I don't know. I don't like, maybe I just looked past it or I didn't notice it or something. But like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it was just one thing that I just wasn't paying attention to because, like, and if I did, I was just like, gonna go get my ticket. I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I'm gonna go to my fucking theater. I'm not here to talk to nobody. If I see a friend of mine, cool. What are you gonna go see? How'd you like it? Bye. Boom. That's it. I'm
There
straight
was a lot
shot.
of congregation like outside of the movie theater. There used to be that, and that hasn't been a thing in our region. Brian, did that ever happen upstate with you guys, where like people would just kind of like congregate?
The movie theater. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was younger, yeah. But not after a certain age. It was maybe like an adolescent, like teenage.
Yeah, like
thing.
it's like a thing that like the teenagers do, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
yeah.
got places to go. Like what they got, like Peter Piper and
Yeah, where the fuck else were we gonna
little
go?
arcades and shit. But
Yeah.
like,
Plus,
it's
I mean, there was
weird.
always like a decent little arcade, like at the movies, right?
Exactly.
You know?
You could
Yeah.
fucking just fuck around at the arcades, talk to some girls, or just
Mhm.
hang out. Like there was always something to do at that point. But then
But after Corona, like I've noticed that there's just like there's no more hangout. Like people like
But is that a bad thing though? Is that really a bad thing?
I mean, for
Fuck
the
them-
theater,
I don't-
Fuck them kids, dude.
I don't think I've ever seen kids hang out at the movies anymore. I haven't seen
Yeah,
that in a very long time.
and I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, do you think that kind of plays a factor in the fact that people don't like go to the theater as much because they don't see that congregation?
People still are, yeah, but people are just still very, very reluctant to like go to the movies. Like like that full resurgence back to the movies, I don't think has really come back yet.
Yeah, it hasn't really returned. I think that's really weird. That just goes to show, in my opinion, like how hard it is for these theaters to kind of keep people there. Keep them coming back and keep them wanting to return and keep them, because even the factor of like we have the Edinburgh Theater, right? It doesn't have an arcade anymore. It has a full bar. It kind of caters to it
Nice.
more than it does to
Yeah, dude,
children.
that's what's up.
But yeah, but
Fuck
like
that arcade.
yeah, fuck them kids.
Yeah, fuck them kids, dude.
Fuck them kids. But again, it doesn't give these children a congregation place to kind of like
Bro,
accumulate.
these kids got Fortnite, dude. Let them congregate there.
Where?
Yeah, but that's kind of
dude. Let them congregate
Listen,
there.
I like Fortnite as much as the next person, but I mean that playing with your friends at the arcade, or at the movie theater, that's like
something special.
yeah, that's like something special, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of noticed the other day. I was kind of like, wow, like there's not kids at the theater anymore. That's like a fucking Goosebumps episode where like the kids are missing.
Yeah.
Like they don't really go out as much. I mean, Peter Piper's always banging. You know what I mean?
Next
Down
time, next time you go to the movies, if it's somewhat within like the 6 p.m. later, just see how many people are playing the fucking video games anymore. Like if there are any in your
if
place
there are
anyway.
any video games.
Yeah, that
like down
alone
here-
is kind of one of those things. Like, is this one of those places? Like,
Because
still
down
have
here,
that?
they don't really have arcades with video games anymore, except for I think McAllen.
we still have arcade rooms
Places.
and places,
Yeah.
but we don't have them like inside the movie theaters like we used to.
Yep, we do. It's called Ham's Arcade, man. Shout out to Ham, our boy.
Mhm.
Comes in the arcade. He has like a legitimate arcade.
dude,
yeah,
I just want time off so I can go, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Every Friday he does like a fighting
thing.
championship.
Yeah.
Do
yeah,
they
those are
serve
thing.
at his place? Do they serve alcohol or is it just straight
BYOB.
BYOB?
Yeah.
Oh, but you can bring
BYOB.
your own. You can just BYOB. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
it's
That's-
pretty much
that's
like
cool.
his man cave that he
Yeah,
allows
yeah.
people to come and do tournaments in.
We have places like that out here.
Yeah,
where's
Very like
BYOB?
underground.
Yeah, it's like
Very, like,
BYOB.
underground vibes.
Go and just play just mad fucking games and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we're gonna party when you come down, Ryan.
Awesome,
When you come down.
awesome.
Yeah, we're
Hell
gonna
yeah.
party at Ham's Arcade. But yeah. Other than that, Brian, it's so great to have you back on the show.
Appreciate it.
There's so many crazy questions I want to ask you.
I
First,
would love to answer them.
I'm gonna start with the most horrible question, being that it's one of the top talking points in the last couple
Love
weeks.
horrible questions.
Madam fucking Web, dude.
Okay.
What did
Listen, all right. I know it's popular to like just shit on Madam Web, and it's very easy to. I honestly haven't seen it, just because it's
not my cup of tea?
it's not gonna land. It's not gonna land for me either. So, I don't have much to say about it. It's the Rotten Tomato scores though are fucking insane, bro.
Dude,
That is wild. yo.
I don't think they're. I think it's worse than Morbius now.
Like, how do you get
Yeah.
worse than Morbius, bro?
I don't. It's.
Dude, speaking
Rob
of, did you see
championed
that
this
Sydney
for
Sweeney
weeks,
just
man.
went on SNL and literally shit on the movie herself too?
She's been shitting. A lot of people have been
Sweeney
shitting on.
girl?
People that have been like involved in the movie have been shitting on it for like the past like 2 or 3 weeks, bro. They're
Yeah.
acting like that movie doesn't even fucking exist.
Yeah.
Dude, now, honestly, good for them because
You
they
can't
just gotta
be
lean into the
associated.
meme.
You can't be
lean into the
associated with
meme
that shit.
and write it for what it's worth. Fuck it.
I mean, 'cause how do you do worse than Morbius in this situation?
And not only that, but the bigger thing is that they're both fucking Sony Spider-Man verse projects.
Yeah,
that
and
are
then
just
you
like
have like the
that bad.
Craven. You have the Craven coming out, and it's
Well,
like
they just killed Craven with this movie. If it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
already dead, it's dead now, bro.
yeah, oh yeah. Robert had told me that the theaters they had merchandise to give out, but the theaters were told not to sell it. They were told not to give it away. But they told Rob it was because
better off
apparently there was
giving it
like
away.
a picture. There was like an inappropriate picture or something that was in it, which I think is bullshit. I think they were just trying to like, don't give any of the merchandise away. We're going to give it back and try to at least save some money. You know what I mean? Yo,
Yeah, I don't
what's
know.
up, Eels? Good to have you on the show, man. Good to see you, my man. But yeah, Madam Web came out. It pretty much did as well as we all said it would probably do, but its expectations of Into the Negatives went a lot higher than what we could even comprehend. Again,
Yeah.
we all said it wasn't probably going to do good, and nobody asked for this movie, and that met its expectations. Nobody asked for this movie. I think Rob asked for it because that Sweeney chick was in it, and he just thinks she's hot. But
I just could not wrap my head around why Rob came into the group chat and praising this fucking movie. I don't know.
Fucking Rob.
I don't know
Like,
what was going. I don't know what.
Yeah, Biggie, I don't know what you were smoking.
I don't know what that.
but
I don't know what that was about, brother. Like
Giving it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You know what? And it's so wild, man.
Yeah, he was like, "You're a racist if you don't like this movie." Dude.
Yo, but I knew
You're
something was up. I knew
racist.
something was up when I was asking Rob. I'm like, all right, so what did you like about it? He could not give me an answer to save his life. I was like, all right, I got it.
Bitch be wildin'.
yeah, dude,
He's like,
bitches.
I like their courage. And it's like, what do you mean you like their bravery? What do you mean?
Yeah,
It's like, what's brave about
I
fucking
just
being
liked
a
it, dude. It
movie
was cool.
man?
I just liked it, man. It was cool.
He's like, I
dude.
said it was okay.
It was admirable, man.
Yeah, it was admirable.
He came in the chat lit.
Yeah, dude.
That's man, dude. That is so wild, man.
Oh, I got a chance to watch Echo now that Eels said that. I finally got a chance to come around and watch Echo.
Oh, okay. So how did we feel?
Shit, man. Normally I
Yeah,
want to
not the
cape.
audience.
Yo, normally I'll cape for like I'm probably the only one of us that capes or tries to cape for like the Disney Plus shows, but
That's hard.
that one was rough to get through. There was some good parts in it though. I will give them
Yeah,
that.
but there
Yeah.
weren't very many.
There was definitely some good parts, but then they just lost me at some point.
What do you think that
The
it
last episode was kind of fucking gnarly.
It was
so
all
I
over
don't
the place.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, it was all over the fucking place.
It
'Cause
wasn't good.
even
That's
with
what it was.
Phoenix, I
You
went
know
in
what
there thinking about the comic book a little bit, right? And I was like,
Okay.
no, she's gonna be like the Phoenix or some shit.
Yeah.
But again, she's just deaf. Like, and she can copy like some, like she's like Taskmaster. She can copy like some.
You know what it was? It wasn't enough fighting. If there was more fighting, I think it would have saved.
Well, that's what the trailer like made it seem like, that
Yeah.
we were just gonna be like, the
If it
whole
was
fucking
more
time.
fighting and less dialogue and less of that shitty ass fucking storyline,
It's not-
that would have probably saved it.
Yeah, but then again, it's like there was a lot of shit that didn't make sense when they were fighting too. Like
But
there
at
was
that
this
point, I
scene-
didn't care. I just want to see some fighting because I'm tired of watching you guys talk. So just fight.
Well, no, yeah, no, I understand that. Like it needed more action, like base action.
The
Like,
little that
I
we
was
got was
hoping,
really
like,
good.
I was hoping like Winter Soldier action, like a little bit more like
You're not
not
getting that from
over
no
the
Disney
top.
Plus fucking
Yeah.
show.
yeah.
You're not
I
getting
just didn't want over the top action.
Never.
But there were just scenes like there was a scene where there when she's fighting Daredevil that she's not looking at him and he throws like a punch and she like dodges it without looking, and I was like, wait, I thought she was like, how did she fucking feel that coming? That's not her power set, is it? Like she can't.
because she's
I
deaf, dude.
Yeah.
I just
So she's
figured. I
dead.
just keep telling
Listen,
you.
that part I bought, but I don't know why they had me so pumped up for Daredevil.
Daredevil.
He was literally in it for like 10 seconds, and then that was it.
True. I didn't find that to be too bad because I didn't want it to be like a cash grab by them just using him. So I was like, okay, let's see this character like carry her own weight. Like if they want to push on this character, they want to be exclusive and they want to be indoctrinated by showing the Native American culture. Like we shouldn't really need Daredevil too much. Maybe a nice intro, maybe a nice, tip of the hat, carry on, do your thing and go. But like he just like shows up, whips her ass, and then like just kills everyone else in the room.
Honestly, I don't think that the part that we did get of Daredevil, I appreciated because I know what they were trying to do, and they were trying to show that she can hang with Daredevil. Like that was literally all that scene was about. It wasn't about.
But that's also like the thing for me, dude. Like he basically like low diffs Echo.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure what low diffs mean, but I'm pretty sure it means like just he wasn't pulling punches. He's pulling punches, right?
Yeah, like low difficulty.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, bro, like to me, like I'm not at all gonna say that fight was mid because it wasn't. It was really. I thought it had some really like nice choreography. I thought the shot placement was really cool. I really dug the cinematography for what it was in those fights. Some good panoramics in it. So it was visually very pretty. But like this is now like granted what I'm about to say is more of like a gripe, if anything. And I know that at that point, this is where she's kind of like, okay, now I'm kind of like just getting into the mindset that maybe it's okay to kill people, So and finally, like the first time she allows herself to really hurt somebody, fucking Daredevil comes in and he's like, don't do that. And so they scrap a little bit. He low diffs her and he's like, all right, well, you have a gun now. I'm gonna take off. Bye.
What did you feel with the show Echo that it stayed consistent with the Netflix series?
Yeah, I think the only connection that they've had between the two that I saw was the part of Kingpin and killing his dad with the hammer. Like he's got the hammer in both shows. So like it kind of that's the only connection that I see between those two shows.
And how did you feel how they utilized Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio?
D'Onofrio.
Yeah, I was too, but yeah.
You put some respect on that name.
I liked it. No, I liked it. I liked it in Netflix more. But I didn't hate it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, I feel like it was a very watered down version of him.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same version, and I think they said that. I think they said that before the show even came out. That
but that's the thing. They backpedaled on that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's canon."
I think Charlie,
Charlie Cox originally said that no, they're two different. They're two different things. But no, someone came out not too long ago and was like, "No, they canonized it."
It's canon. No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's canon for sure. But the versions of the characters that are being played, I don't think they're identical. I don't think there's any connection there.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because, like, like you said, like it was asked to Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige said yes. The characters that are coming out are canonically from the Netflix series, but when you see them written out, they're like, the Daredevil character is a little bit more playful. The Kingpin character is a little bit more.
Daredevil's a perfect example as well. He was in She-Hulk, and he wasn't the same Daredevil. I'm sorry, like that wasn't
super.
But I did call that particular thing because before Echo came out, we were talking about it, and Chris had asked, like, how is it that they're going to like make that connection with Echo and Daredevil? And I was like, dude, the only way that they can do that is that this is like a flashback thing. And, it was like, well, because like he has his red suit now, but canonically now he has a yellow suit. And I was like, yeah, this has to be like early Daredevil, like when he like just got the suit and stuff. And like she happened to like meet up with him and boom, no shit, we called it. Like I called that. And then he was like, dude, watch, she's an alien. She's an alien. And no shit, the first 30 seconds, she's a fucking alien, and I was like, dude, we're prophets. That's what it is.
They combine it with the What If show with the fucking characters that are the Indian tribe that had never been introduced in Marvel before. So cool on them kind of creating like a new origin story on, you know, bringing the Native American culture into it, then bringing like a cosmic backstory. It's very much like the way they did Namor, where we didn't think it was going to be really great with the turning him Spaniard and shit, or Mexican or whatever they did, Aztec. And it worked pretty well. So like I kind of dig the idea that they added like this whole new culture to the landscape of the Marvel universe. But the only thing that makes it kind of weird is that now you have a whole new power set of characters that are pretty fucking powerful for no reason. And where were they during the Thanos incursion and all that other shit happening? You know what I mean? So like it just goes back to the, what is it? The Eternals, like the problem with the Eternals.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's super wild, but yeah, I kind of felt like the way they handled Vincent D'Onofrio's character was not well, because he
it wasn't bad though. Like, I don't want to shit on it. I don't think they did any like damage to the character. I just don't think he was the same version. He was way more fucking off the hinge in fucking in Netflix. He was just like, he was always on edge, and the Echo shit, he seemed not like that.
Yeah, he seems real I wouldn't say watered down in the Echo show. I would just say that they made him a little bit more naive, like a naivety to him. Because even
I wouldn't even say that. I like while they buffed him, they also nerfed him at the same time.
They nerfed him. That's what they did. That's exactly what needs to be said about that. They nerfed him.
Yeah. They gave him a physical buff, but then like at the same time they made his character overall real nerfed. Like it was like, okay, cool, because this dude straight took a bullet to the face. Yeah. And was just
that was wild, bro. He took a bullet to the
and he got hit by a car.
Yeah,
like point blank range
right before
point blank range, and not only did he survive that,
is on the mend.
Yeah.
They never quite that, and that's the thing. Like
that was some comic book shit right there.
Bro. Yeah, no, it was. There you go. Now we finally got our comic book shit.
That was some comic book
there you go. Now we finally got it.
But like, it's so weird because it's like he's super underutilized, because he does that kind of shit in the comics. Yeah. Like Spider-Man beats the fuck out of him. Daredevil beats the fuck out of him. Punisher beats everybody's beating the fuck out of this guy. And then he ends up at like the X-Men gala, you know, married to fucking Madam, whatever the fuck his wife's name is, who's an X-Men and can get into Krakoa. And like, then he's just like the most devious, like he's like a Dr. Doom, like, except he doesn't do magic.
He's street level. He's street level.
Yeah, I feel like you don't get that vibe. We don't get him like that yet. And I think we'll probably get that during the Daredevil series, which I'm hoping that they utilize it more. I think the Echo show, like you said, like it was a ride. It was a ride. It's kind of interesting. I kind of see where they want to go with her later, but yeah, that was pretty dicey, man. That was pretty dicey. But what'd you think overall?
Mids.
For the Echo show, like what would you give it in the sense of a rating?
5.
5, yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, I think we were all like 5-6, like with it, right. And like I think I was like soft 6 or some shit like that.
5. I'll give it 5.
What it do? Black Pecker fact checker. Man, dude, Wrong Hole Rick is still in the comments doing the crazy titles. It's good to see you, man. Eel says, "What's up, Brian?"
Dude, that guy's our best friend, dude.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best name maker. Speaking of things that are awkward to the visuals, this past week, we got the reveal of something that was quite interesting. Some pictures from a magazine about one of the coolest reboots we're ever going to probably not want to see, but the Crow reboot pics got released. Bill Skarsgård, all t-shirt.
Yo, I am extremely just eager to find out, Chris, what you have to say about this.
I thought it was comical. I mean, I don't know. I can't really judge it way too early in the sense of what they're going to do with it. And there's so many like White Knight people coming out to try to defend it, and it's hard because
Okay, so defend what? Why don't you explain to me and our listeners what are they defending?
so a lot of the slack that they're getting is the way the character looks, and how, of course, they're being compared to like Eric Draven's, Brandon Lee's character,
Yeah.
the long hair. He's got like the everybody's calling it the K haircut, the Edgar cut, which is very prominent right now, which is a mullet,
Fucking truqueandos, dude.
flattened in the front. And then a lot of people are out there being like, oh, well, it's based off of this comic book line's character. But the director already said, he came out and said that it is the Eric Draven storyline, which is based off the,
Brandon Lee
and Mark Dacascos' characters and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting take on what it is they're doing. Me, myself, I'm just like everybody else. Like I'm a fan of the Crow. Like we're all fans of the Crow, and I think it's more based on the Selena factor, which is like Selena was, of course, this famous, growing Hispanic international singer when we were growing up, and then she was shot and killed by another lady, Yolanda Saldívar, who was a fan, and then all of a sudden, all her record sales went off the roof. Everyone wanted to know who she was after that. And I feel that's the way the Crow was. If Brandon Lee would have survived that movie filming and the stunt accident that happened, I feel like it would not have made as much success as it would. Because that was like Blade. That was like, Queen of the Damned. Like there was just so many things that were going on at that time, which are the same format, that I feel like the movie would have been good, but it wouldn't have been that great. But since he passed away, a lot of people got behind it and think it's like the greatest sliced bread movie ever.
So hold on, before you continue, I just wanted to ask a question. So Elizabeth in the comments, she said the Crow is going to be a hard pass. I want to know exactly why. Like anyone that's going to pass on this movie in the comments, I want to know exactly why would you pass on it? Because listen, I'm not. We've already established I'm not a big Crow fan.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you said you weren't really interested in it. It didn't like catch your eye.
But I respect it. I went to the movies. I went to go see it. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. But I'm just shocked as to why. Well, he looks weird, but I mean, why?
Honestly, I'm gonna go see it. The reason I'm gonna go see it is honestly for Bill Skarsgård. He might look stupid, dude. I get it.
He does.
He looks real fuckboyish. Like let's call a spade, right? Homie has the fucking horrible face tattoos, the fucking Joker-esque, like words and shit on his fucking eyebrow, whatever, bro. But nonetheless, that is not at all to detract that Bill Skarsgård is a fucking powerhouse when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
This
and then
dude
that, he made,
has fucking chops.
Boy Fights
His fucking family has chops. And so because of that, I would like to give benefit of a doubt that he can at least give us a good performance out of it.
Okay.
But that's also not to yet again, to play devil's advocate. That's also not to detract from the fact that writing is also just as important as the performance that we're given. If the dialogue that he's giving us is fucking super dry or something like that, dude, we're gonna have a horrible time. And it is what it is. It's shitty, but it is the truth of the era that we're in right now.
Yeah, it's super weird. And not only that, like Trig said, Bill Skarsgård, his acting chops are fucking phenomenal right now. He just dropped a trailer for Boy Kills World. Have you guys seen this trailer?
It's so good. Dude, his narrator is John H. Benjamin, the guy who plays Archer, and that's probably the biggest reason why I want to go see that movie.
This movie is like a Money Train or Bullet Train. Smoking Aces. It's got that
the fucking
vibe.
Hardcore Henry vibe, Guns Akimbo sort of shit.
It looks
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with both of you guys now that I'm thinking about it. Only because, all right, so the Brandon Lee, right? You didn't like him as the Crow because of his acting chops, right? I mean, I don't think he acted his ass off in that movie. You love him because of the tone, the tonality, the cinematography, the action,
the theme and stuff,
all that shit. So I don't know if you necessarily need that in because this is, I mean, call it what it is. He's a fucking super character. He's a superhero. He's a superhero, basically. And so I don't know if I need that necessarily in The Crow to see it. Because I think if you nail all those other aspects as to which made the original so good, I think you'll be fine.
But don't you think that might be like I guess counterintuitive? If you're gonna get a lot of comparison to the original film, if you make it,
You're gonna get
based
that
on
regardless.
You're
though.
getting that regardless.
Yeah,
You're
you're
getting that
gonna get that
regardless.
regardless.
There was
Well, yeah.
these people when they made this movie, they knew there was no getting around that.
Yeah,
they knew
I'd have to agree with entirely with Brian.
Yeah.
Because
I understand that, but like for them to kind of like, because remember when Brandon Lee died, everybody said there would never be another Crow movie, and then they made City of Angels, right, which is with Vincent Perez, which he did really well with. And then the third movie came out, and they had the guy, I forgot his name, but he played Chris from Resident Evil, the first movie, which is exactly like Bill Skarsgård. Like that, he looks almost exactly the same. And then they had the fourth movie, which had that dude from
John Connor
from Terminator 2, which was really bad. That one was like extremely bad. The one before that wasn't that great either. Like part 3 was
dude, that one had Tui
really
Trang in
bad.
it. That was like her last movie. Was the Crow movie before she died?
Yeah. So it's one of those things like
R.I.P.
Vincent Perez in part 2 City of Angels. That one was pretty well done, but you could tell it was like low budget compared to the budget that they had in the first film. Like you could really tell a lot of this stuff was studio. You could tell a lot of it was filmed like in a warehouse, not outside. Like you could tell a lot of that stuff. And and the TV series was pretty good. Mark Dacascos did a.
There was a
Stairway
TV,
to
I know
Heaven.
there was a TV series.
Mark Dacascos killed it, dude.
Vaguely remember that.
Yeah. And he did really well. Mark Dacascos did really well, and it was very like it almost had like the Crow meets Touched by an Angel, Touched by Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. Like it had a lot of like family vibes to it. I don't know.
There's a moral at the story after every.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He walks into a church and someone gives him a pamphlet with the Jesus in the body of fucking.
I don't need
book or
Jesus.
whatever.
I got family.
Yeah, family kind of thing.
Wait, let me ask you a question. And this is super important. So, were these episodes? Was there like individual episodes where there was like a beginning and then an end after each episode, or was there one long storyline the entire time?
One long story.
Okay.
That's not entirely true. There were some isolated incidents, like shit. Like, kind of think of like I'm not sure if you remember this or if you were ever a big fan, Brian, but like Highlander.
Oh no, of course, hell yeah.
Yeah, like Highlander had one long story, but there was isolated stories.
In that story. Yeah, so it was very much in that same format.
Highlander was on for a long time, bro.
And they're making a remake.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're making a remake.
A Henry Cavill,
of the movie, or the show.
Making a remake.
Oh,
I want to say the movie.
Yeah, the movies.
Yeah.
He's gonna play fucking Duncan MacLeod, boy.
Dude, I don't know who he's playing, but I know he's gonna play MacLeod. Yeah, it's either Duncan or Connor.
I remember growing up, my uncle being obsessed with fucking Highlander. Like I literally saw every fucking movie.
It was a great watch, man. That was fucking awesome back in the day.
That's crazy.
But yeah, for me, it's one of those things. Like I didn't just watch the Crow movie, the first one. I wanted to see what they were going to do after. Of course, like in my mind, I wanted to see if they were ever going to be able, because I like the Crow as a story. I thought it was a great superhero story. That idea of death coming back to give you a chance to get revenge. I think that's a great story. Like, giving the people the opportunity, especially like from the first movie being where it was like a couple and then they get like, they fucking get murdered and killed and the wife gets, tortured and whatnot and all this stuff. And then he gets his return and all that stuff. And then you have the second movie.
Sounds like every fucking badass superhero ever.
Which one?
That story. Punisher.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for great. It's like every great superhero story that return. That's like Punisher.
No, the ones that'll probably kill you. Those are like their story right there.
Yeah.
And then you don't kill families.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
When they die violent deaths and right before they watch
you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Someone's
coming back. They're gonna come back and they're gonna
They're gonna get theirs, man.
You're gonna get it.
Spawn is a great example. Like that's exactly Spawn's story.
Yeah.
Spawn was almost identical to the Crow story.
Yeah.
It was almost identical. And then you had like part 2, like I said, where it's the father and the son who witness a murder, and then that crew that sells drugs catches them, throws them. They tie them up with a bunch of shit, shoot them, and throw them in the river, and then they both drown. And then the father comes back, and then he pulls the son out of the water, and has to go get his revenge. And that was the increment that you got to see them introduce the snake character, which is the antithesis to the crow, which was the villain of that story. He wounds the crow, the bird, drinks its blood, and then gets some of the supernatural powers. And then he's able to fight back against him, which is like, it introduced like a villain of same attributes, not just a guy with a sword in the beginning who has like a weird Asian girlfriend or sister or whatever it is. Like you have like a dude that's really like, yeah, that was a great story. And then, like I said, it wasn't the first time. This isn't the first time that they've ever tried to reboot the franchise or continue the story. And that's the problem. That's why, like, earlier this week, I made a post about it, and I was like, it's not the fuckboys who ruined this movie, or the fuckboys have ruined this movie, because it's not the story of the crow that's ruined. It's the people writing the story. And
so is that your biggest gripe? Well, we haven't even seen. Are you talking about like in the past or
the past? We have 5 iterations of the crow already. It's not like the first time.
So let me ask you, since you're like I will put you in like a fucking super fan, because I don't know any person in the right mind that has fucking stayed with the crow as long as you have.
Dude, I literally have like the box set. I know I was picking on fucking Rob about the Steel book today because he purchased it on Amazon and he was like, yo, finally got it. And I was like, bro, 20 years later, like, why didn't you buy this like fucking 5 years ago, 8 years ago?
That's the thing. There's still steel boxes around.
So then, what is it with the picture that was brought out with Skarsgård or whatever the fuck his name is, and like what is it about that? Is it because you're still, I guess, comparing that to Brandon Lee, or why does it look like shit?
I think because it falls into the format of what people think are like rebels now, which is like that weird fuckboy image, like the tattoos on the face and the mumble rapper kind of fucking white boys, fentanyl dudes, like sitting in the back of the bus kind of shit. Like those kind of boy. Like it kind of like it predicates that idea of the rebellious nature of youth. And that's like what Hollywood sees as yo, this is what a street kid looks like now.
Yeah. And
I think there's people that resonate with the story of the crow. Like, I think there's a lot of people that relate to it. I don't say they fucking, I'm not fucking trench coat mafia dudes trying to fucking walk around Walmart with paint on their face and shit.
Maybe they're like, island boys now.
That resonate with the story enough that they're like, I don't see him this way. Which is equivalent to the dudes that's like instantly everybody was like, look at this Dollar General Jared Leto Joker character. Because
what are you basing that? You're just basing that off of your particular taste, or what you just the iterations that you've seen of him in the previous whatever fashion. Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is it's like I said, if I was to show you right now, I'll pull it up right now. The character from Crow 3.
See, you're still going to be comparing him to a different.
The reason why I bring it up is because of the fact that's where everybody's argument lies. Because everybody's upset about the look of the character. I don't care about the look of the character. What I care about is the fact that this story's been around for like 10 years.
Okay.
And this past year, they barely locked down a fucking an actor for the role, and it was originally supposed to be fucking 50 Cent.
For what role?
For the Crow. He had bought the rights to the film.
Okay.
And he was supposed to be the original idea. So this is the guy.
I would have paid money.
I mean, it's not that far fetched from what we're looking at right now with Bill Skarsgård character.
Maybe he finally died trying.
Like short hair. Like it's right there. Like it literally, you look at Bill Skarsgård, that's literally
the
format. It's literally the hair. If you were just to cut the sides off like short.
So then why is everybody tripping then? Like if there's a version,
everybody only recognizes everybody only recognizes Brandon Lee as just the Crow. And there's been so many iterations of the Crow. I mean, fucking Edward Furlong. Look at this fucking weirdo, dude.
That's my buddy. I like him.
This movie is ass, dude.
He's batshit crazy.
Yeah, now he is.
Dude, Tara Reid and fucking the dude who plays Angel.
Tito fucking, oh yeah, David Boreanaz, or what? Dave Boreanaz?
Boreanaz, yeah.
Boreanaz. Oh fuck, I can't even say his name.
Dude, he was Satan. He was literal Satan in that movie.
Look, this is literally MGK, dude. Like, That's literally fucking.
And so wait, people hated this movie. I mean, it's a third one, right? So people hated this movie though.
Nobody cared to watch it. There's a lot of people that just didn't fucking watch it. He didn't do that bad. This guy, this actor guy, was really famous for nothing. I wanted to say something cool, but I couldn't. Like, I'm not gonna say Resident Evil 1 was a fucking killer movie or whatever. But
he was famous for nothing,
really nothing
at all.
Not even to be a dick, but he came out in Resident Evil 1, the film.
Okay.
And he came out real fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like, and then he just got kidnapped, and then later on he's the fucking my shoulder or whatever the fuck, and then turns into like what's his name?
So wait, which actor is it?
It's not these guys.
Okay.
The guy it's this guy, but I'll pick him up right now. Let me see. IMDb, Salvation. God, I couldn't even remember his name. Let me see.
I'm not
Cast.
sure who it is anyway.
Yeah, Eric Mobius.
That was his first and last movie.
Yeah, first and last movie. Yeah, look, he's right there. Look, okay. Yeah, look, he was this dude.
Yeah, who? Okay, yeah.
Do you remember the first Resident Evil movie
or something like that? Or
barely, bro. Barely.
He was the one that was in there. Yeah. He was like the boyfriend or something. And then he gets picked up and they fucking inject him and then they kidnap him and all that shit. Well, from this movie, he went to go do that Crow film.
Got it.
So,
isn't he the one who turned into fucking Mr. T or whatever? Yeah. Or fucking, like Omega Nemesis, like
look at how successful he went
Skarsgård or whatever.
Skarsgård. Look at how successful he went off to be, dude. And now they're making Bill Skarsgård look like him.
I mean, it is kind of a flex, though, if you think about it.
He was like, bro, I was a Crow, and I was in Resident Evil.
I was a Crow before Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, dude.
Like, there's the homie right there, dude. Mark Dacascos. Look at him. Look at him.
Everyone looks so edgelord in these, dude. It's so bad.
And you guys were actually watching this shit?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
He's like, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
How do I say it? Yeah, it was a weird time in my life.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we ain't proud of it, but we watched it.
It's cool. Nah, it's cool. You own it. I appreciate it. Yo.
Like, so there's great. Just a lot of people that are just like, you look at this and you're like, for reals, bro. Like, he's got to have the Illuminati tattoo. I mean, everyone, from what I know, is making fun of this tattoo, which is like his nipple is like the eyeball of one of the faces, which I don't quite get it. But I hope there's like, just to piss off people in the fans, like in the people watching it, like he explains why he has a tattooed eyeball nipple or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's the no regrets thing. It's no regrets.
No regrets or whatever.
When is this movie supposed to be coming out?
Like next month, dude.
No shot.
I'm not even kidding.
No shot. No shot.
Let me get it up right now. 2024. We're looking at fuck, they don't even have it. That's what's gonna scare
February 24th.
I would say if there was a lot of backlash for the pictures, there's still time to fucking
fix it.
Rethink that, yeah.
Yeah.
But if they're coming out next month, this is a wrap, bro. Like, this is canned already.
June 7th.
June 7th. Yeah, it's probably canned already. It's ready to go. It's locked and loaded.
No, but no fucking around. Remember, we heard this like last year that it had already knocked out. Like, they already filmed it. You remember this, right?
They were just.
We had that conversation where we were like, "Oh shit, The Crow!" Like they apparently filmed the whole thing, like Bill Skarsgård and all this, and we were like, "Wow, like." That's kind of weird. That is.
See, really Elizabeth gets it. She said, like Sonic. That's exactly what I was thinking about, because that Sonic shit caused a fucking shitstorm, and they changed that immediately.
Yo, I love the internet for that shit, dude. They fucked that whole. They trolled that whole.
That's gotta be like top 5.
The whole studio, bro.
Dude, that's probably like the only time like the fandom was like, seriously, we're right. We're right. You're wrong.
That's got to be
right.
Like
you're wrong. This will work better.
top 5 internet fucking bully moves I've ever
Right?
seen in my
You're like,
fucking
dude,
life, yo.
everyone's like, no bullying.
That's like
bullying,
top
harassment.
5, yo.
That's a whole internet,
That's
man. The
top
whole
5.
internet.
I've never seen someone get bullied so quick and so
hard
like
into victory.
wild.
Dude, and you know what's fucked up? It was months. It took them months to do that. Not
they got that
years.
out.
It took them months, like 2 months.
They didn't even move
and
the date.
you can barely even find that original trailer anymore. Much less like
No, you know what's even more fucked up is the fact that the studio changed it. And people were like, okay, good. Like, I'm glad you changed it because that other movie would have been ass if you left it that way. And then they used that character in Chippendales, and everyone was like, yo, we want a movie with the ugly Sonic. And I'm like, bitch, you had a movie with the ugly Sonic.
Yo.
Now you want a specific movie with the ugly Sonic?
no, dude, it has to be the ugly Sonic when he's getting fired from Sonic.
Yeah.
And he's still just the down and out like actor.
Dude. They want to see the fucking ugly Sonic failed life movie, like where he's at home.
Like the Cantina Band, like when Fredward was like about the Cantina Band.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like I want to see that, like the drug addiction Sonic with teeth and like separated eyeballs, dude. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, did you see the Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie?
The movie, I don't know, maybe
they released a live action last year.
I used to watch the show. I don't know about the movie.
They released the live action of it, and they brought the ugly Sonic back in that film. And he was like, oh, I'm going to show it to you right now, and you're going to laugh. This fucking, what makes it even better is like, watch. He is fucking movie. He has his own Comic-Con panel. Like, he's at a convention, like just selling tickets and pictures. And he's like, oh yeah, what's up? I was supposed to be in that movie and they didn't use me, but like ugly, like, dude, they fucking brought this dude out. Like, look at the fucking background pictures of like his shit at Comic-Con. And he's just, dude, it's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb, but it's so good. So yeah, in this film, he's doing reality shows and he goes around with like the cops and they do like the Bad Boys TV show where he goes around and flies and SWAT team and at the very end of the show he helps Chip and Dale by saving them with like the actual police department. Okay. Like he shows up and it's like, this is weird as fuck, dude. But people were all about this, man, wanting to get this guy like a whole new film.
I don't know what they spent to make Sonic the Hedgehog the first one, but it made 300 million.
Oh, dude, it was a baller movie, man. It was good.
So, like, that just goes to show you, like, they helped you, the fans, like the hardcore fans, the ones that were in outrage, they helped you make 300 million on this movie. Because if not, if you just ignore them, you wouldn't have made shit for this movie. Mm-hmm. And then that allows you to make 400 the next movie.
Look at this comparison right here, dude. The internet just has no fucking shame.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's egregious. Look at that shit. That looks bad, bro.
That's horrible.
That's fucked up. Like, why would you do that to Sonic and then put him in my face like that? Like, why would you do that?
It's supposed to look more like this too, like where the eyeballs are just separate, like
one.
Connected. Yeah, one eyeball.
Just one eyeball.
Yeah, that's super weird when you kind of break it down, right?
That first Sonic would have bombed.
That would have been real bad.
That'd have bombed.
Been bad. But yeah, like it's like that format where like you take something that the fans truly dislike. It's like Morbius. Morbius did the same thing. Do you remember what happened with Morbius? You remember the fiasco behind that? Where people hated it so much that they turned It's Morbin time into a meme. And the movie had already fucking failed, dude. Like miserably failed on release.
No, it released twice. You remember
and
that?
that was why they released it the second time, is because they thought that they had momentum to re-release it and get people to go watch it. And people were like, bitch, we're making fun of it. We don't want to go watch it again. Because they were saying like Morbin time, dude, that was the fucked up thing, dude. You go back and look at the second release and it had like a little bit more than what they did the first time, but still, dude, like they just got bullied into thinking they were going to be successful because people were talking about it again. Like that's bonkers, dude. That's bonkers. But like straight up, my opinion on the reboot is I'm going to give it time and I'm going to go watch it when it comes out because I'm a fan of the story of The Crow. I want to see what they're going to do to it. I've already seen 4-5 different variations of this story broken up. If it's going to be the Eric Draven story, like I'm nervous for that because it's just going to be like, okay, cool. Like, what are they going to do with the Shelley story? What are they going to do with the Sarah story? Like, how are they going to make it? Like, you're going to reboot it, but how are you going to make it better? That's it. Like, how are you going to make it better than the original one? That's what I'm worried about. Like, that's the only thing I worry about. Is it going to be something that's going to bring people to the theater? I don't think so. I don't think people are going to line up to see this. I think right now, with what they've seen, people are not happy. But then again, it's just on visuals, though. It's just on visuals. It's like the Joker in Suicide Squad. You remember that? You remember when that first popped off and everyone was like, fuck the Joker and all this stuff. And then you watch him and you were like, well, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't that bad. Jared Leto did his best with what he could. It was just the design of the character. The script, and like we said before, the script is what has to be done correctly. The story is what has to be done correctly.
We've talked ad nauseum about that movie and Jared Leto specifically. We don't have to get into it, but I didn't mind it. So
yeah, I mean, he did good. And like I said before, like there in the trailer when he says like I'll hurt you really, really bad, like that got me really excited to see what they were going to do. And then they cut that scene and I was like, oh fuck. And then you realize there's like David Ayer came out and said there was a whole bunch of shit that got cut. So it kind of makes you wonder like what the whole thing was going to look like. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for The Crow or not? What about you guys? Brian, are you going to actually give it a chance or no?
Negative,
man. Not even giving it a chance.
I'm going to let you watch it, brother, and then you come report back and I'm going to act interested, but I'm probably still not going to get around to it, bro.
I don't know,
dude.
man.
He's going to straight Dune this movie, bro. He's going to straight Dune this movie. He's going to be like, whatever, dude. Cap.
About Dune too. Did you see Bloodhounds yet?
No.
No, oh man, dude.
Oh man, you're missing out, bro. You are missing out.
You're really missing out on that one. But yeah, onwards to the next part. Guys, Brian, Triggs, we got some interesting releases these last couple of weeks. Good talks. Superman, give the information on Superman, his logo. You know, some crazy pictures have been across the internet. We were kind of checking some out earlier. We don't know.
You guys are still interested in this whole James Gunn verse shit, bro? Like, is this still a thing?
Yeah. Actually, in recent times, what's been good is like they released some pictures of like the entire cast meeting up. You know, everybody kind of just hanging out, like getting to see everybody like reminisce and talk. Dave Bautista, the man, the myth, the legend. You love him, hate him. You love to hate him. Just came out and said, I'm not denying that I would ever work in a superhero film. Like I'll work a superhero film. I mean, I'll work with Marvel and I'll work with DC again, but I'm just done with the Drax character. So like if James Gunn calls me, I'll work with him. If Kevin Feige calls him, you know, he'll work with him too.
Dude, I don't know why he's making it sound as if like he had a problem with James Gunn. Are you serious? He was the first one to dick ride James Gunn when all that shit went down with him and Disney.
Listen, as far as what I'm concerned, Dave Bautista is connected to some real shit right now. So he could probably show his ass a little bit.
What do you mean? What happened to Dave Bautista?
I'm just saying, like, he's coming. He's part of, you know, something, a franchise that has some buzz right now. So, like, if he wants to talk shit, this is probably his best time to do so.
Yeah, that's true. I never even thought of that. And then with the factor that James Gunn, like, he had James Gunn's back during his whole debacle with Marvel and all that stuff.
Bro, he basically told Kevin Feige, he was like, look, man, if you don't let him finish this movie, I quit.
Look at in the comment section, Jeremy said, DC is dead to me, bury it. Yo, if you're in the comment section,
the most accurate fucking statement ever.
Yeah, that's hardcore. Anybody that's out in the comment section, let us know what you think of the DC universe. Are you excited for it or are you not excited? Like, let us know in the comment section. But kind of tell us why though, because I really want to know why. Because you know, seeing the cast and everybody coming together, that kind of gets me a little excited. You know, James Gunn, for what it's worth, at least has.
Does he? Let me ask you a question. Does he get you excited? Pause. Like, does he get you ready? Like, knowing that he is associated and attached to this upcoming reboot, does that get you excited?
Yes.
Even after all the debacle, the bullshit that's been going on over the past year or two, that doesn't.
I like for him getting the opportunity to run DC, like Kevin Feige and all that stuff. It's still hard to say if he's going to get like any opportunity like that. But, you know, what if we compare it to like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau instead of Kevin Feige? Like, what if they're coming in like that with The Mandalorian?
But I mean, not James Gunn. You just said him. Favreau and Filoni, they have some leeway. They have some room to talk shit and to do whatever they want to do. Like, they've earned that real estate. I'm not quite sure James Gunn has done that as of yet when it comes to superhero shit.
I mean, I'll still,
honestly, his biggest superhero, like thing in DC to me has it isn't Suicide Squad. It actually has to be Peacemaker. It's Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, like just through and through in the last like 10 years, James Gunn was the only one that stuck to his gun, right? Or his guns for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like the whole franchise, he kind of pulled it all off. Each one of them is great. Like each one of the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies is great.
That's not true. The second one was trash.
The second
and this one,
great.
the second one was
the
trash.
soundtrack's amazing.
I don't care about the soundtrack. The movie I didn't care for. The first one was god tier.
Yeah.
And then the third one was really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
The second one I don't care for.
Okay. That makes sense.
But even with that being said, what has he done since then to make you feel confident? I mean, I'm gonna watch this shit regardless, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Whether or not you can sell me on, like, if I was on the fence, why, like, how can you sell me to see a James Gunn DC? Like, what is it about him?
I think it's the best chance we got to get DC back online. That's just 100% what it is.
Okay.
I think he's our best opportunity and our best chance. Like, he's got some credit in working with superheroes, and he's willing to take the challenge. I would prefer him over The Rock any day.
Okay. So I've said this before.
Mhm.
He's got a style. Like, he's got a type.
Yes.
He's got a humor. He's got an edge. He's got some dark humor that I kind of like and shit. But
Mhm.
can you see that for Superman?
No. And that's the only problem that I have, is that's the only thing I'm scared of, is that I feel like his quirkiness, his weird, like, I'm not going to say it's like a perverse version of it, but there's something about it, like the ideals that Zack Snyder had when he was making the film, and his like cinematography and the way he like makes beautiful shots out of everything. There's something about that made the DC universe seem bigger than itself. Like all the time, where you can compare the DC universe like to the Marvel universe, but every time you watched it, you thought it was bigger. Like, watching, Batman fighting Superman, or not Superman. Yeah, well, when they're fighting against the Doomsday character, and he's like zipping around with the lightning bolts in the back, very reminiscent of the comic book covers. Like, Zack Snyder chose that specifically to make it look like the comic books, and he put his heart and soul into that. Are we going to get that with James Gunn? No. But I 100% think we'll get like the Wonder Woman snapping Maxwell Lord's neck, and the Kingdom Come story where Kingdom Come Superman and Lois are trapped with Superboy Prime. Like, I think James Gunn would go with the Superboy Prime story. Like, he's nutty enough to be like, yo, Superboy Prime would be a fucking fun character to do. Like, I think he would. I mean, he's going for the fucking, what's that other group? The Authority? Or what is it? The
Authority, I think.
It's called the Authority, which, that's what I'm saying. Like, he picks a lot of obscure,
real obscure characters,
versions and groups and shit like that. So I'm gonna give him a shot. I just he needs to get it together. Like, if because DC needs to be something, and it doesn't need to be in the state where they are.
Let me ask you a question, and I'll ask Triggs. This is very also. Who else would you want to see come to the helm to try to run this? Because we do need DC films.
Let me ask. I mean, my answer to you is no. But then it's an infinite, number that you could put on that. But on that list, where would James Gunn, like, if he wasn't already a part of this, where would James Gunn fall in your list of people that you would call?
Like top half, like maybe top half. Like, in that, this probably would consist of like what TD, like being like 6 or 7. Because I think if you give him a newer IP that he could fuck with, I think he'd probably have more fun. You know what I mean? Like, he'd want to go into it a little bit more, like, because he was already done with the character Thor. Like, he already gave it his heart, and he was just like, well, I don't really want to do it, but I guess, because there's nothing. Like, if you gave Taika Waititi like Guy Gardner. Like Triggs, Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern. Like, if you give Taika Waititi that guy a film for that character, I think he'd knock it out of the fucking park. Because Guy Gardner plays that very full of himself attitude where like no one can get him, but he's like second tier to the other Green Lanterns. You know what I mean? Like he's the dude that's just like the very obnoxious, very loud like person, and I think Taika Waititi would do very well with that character.
I think they have somebody in their camp already that is perfect for those type of movies, and that's James Wan. I think James Wan would fit perfectly in those type of movies, and he's already in house. You don't even have to. Yeah, you don't even have to go searching for anyone.
That was like Shazam, right? He did Shazam.
No, he did Aquaman.
Yeah.
He did Aquaman 1, and I think he did Aquaman 2. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure that's the thing too. Like you could even take the same director that did Shazam and do Guy Gardner. Yeah. Because it's like the same type of like weird. That's the same thing with Booster Gold, right? They want to do a Booster Gold film. So like my biggest concern with the James Gunn universe is it gonna be like Peacemaker, where like these characters hold themselves on pedestals, and then you get your Aquaman that comes in and says "fuck you, Barry" or whatever when he talks about fucking fish or whatever. Like, are you gonna constantly get little quips and quotes like that between like Batman, Superman, or are these characters gonna be like isolated to maturity of the character? Like Batman and Superman are very fatherly. You know, then you have your younger Flash character that fucks with Aquaman, and then Wonder Woman who does her like, you know, traditional stuff. Like, I wonder if he's going to play off of each character's personality traits rather than just throwing them all in there like he did Suicide Squad. Well, like Suicide Squad is just a bunch of mischiefs, right? A bunch of misfits going around just doing weird things, except for Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man was funny as fuck. But yeah, I feel like James Gunn is probably the best thing we got going on for it. I wouldn't say he's the best for DC, but he's the best thing they got. Because you don't got any other director lining up to do that shit. You know what I mean? Not of that prowess. So, Triggs, what about you, man? What do you think?
I mean...
That's a good question, dude. Like what Brian said.
Like, who would I have to like helm DC? To helm DC?
But like, let's see. That's a really tough question. I rather pose a different question, Triggs. That's a really tough question, right? But it's infinite. But like, where would James Gunn fit in that list if you were to make one? Which part? The top half, bottom half, middle half? Where would he land?
Top half, yeah. Because like, he has done good things with DC IPs.
Okay.
Like they haven't been like fantastical, you know. I'm not like this is cinema, but I'm also not being like this is trash. You know, I can watch it again.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen both Suicide Squads several times. To me, so far, the only flop in like the Suicide Squad verse has to be Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
that's not even
was
really considered
absolute.
That's not a Suicide Squad, right?
And that's not Suicide Squad, but still,
well, I mean, but that's still the same. But that's still the same. Like,
I get what you mean. Universe,
you know,
like,
yeah, that's still the same universe. Zack Snyder, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
That's been like the only flop so far for me of like the whole Harley Quinn verse, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I'm on record in saying I'm a fan of the Suicide Squad. Both movies, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't dislike them. I'm not saying like I'm not at all going to be like they're mid, but like each has their merit. I thought the first one was cool as fuck, dude.
Me too.
I thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
The second one, I really, really think that for me, Idris Elba carried that fucking movie so hard. Like,
I think
that guy's back must have hurt so bad after that movie.
I think John Cena. I think between John Cena and Idris Elba, but also what's the chick's name? Yeah,
Sophia Boo. Yeah, Sophia or
Margot Robbie.
Or I think her name is Sophia. Something.
Margot Robbie.
I was talking about Harley Quinn. Okay. Harley Quinn. She did a great job in that movie as well.
And I'll give it up, dude. Having King Shark play the way that he did with Sylvester Stallone playing King Shark, like that was the needed comedy for that film. Like everything he did was like gold, like just stupid. It was just stupid all the time. You didn't need it so much from the other characters.
Trix, did you have a name in mind for like who you would rather have in place, or did I jump the gun on that?
Honestly, man, like only because like, dude, all of his stuff has been hitting. It really have to be Favreau.
Jon Favreau. That'd be cool. I mean, I could see that. What about Guy Ritchie, man? I mean, Guy Ritchie's making this movie that's with Henry
Can we
Cavill.
get
Dude,
off
okay,
the
Guy Ritchie?
train, bro.
Dude, Guy Ritchie, it would have to be like a street level, bare bones, like heist sort of fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because that dude kills it at heists.
I don't understand. I mean, maybe he's a genius if you talk to him or something like that, but I don't get the Guy Ritchie hype. I like Snatch and I like the fucking Guy Ritchie movies just like the next fucking person, but I gotta say that guy is overhyped, man.
Well, I mean, dude, he did do what was it? Sherlock Holmes, the first one.
That's cool.
And that was a great fucking movie.
Honestly, I saw both of them. They were both really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not saying like what I'm saying is like I think like okay, so we had the opportunity with Sam Raimi, right? They brought in Sam Raimi and Sam Raimi did Doctor Strange 2 or whatever. Yeah. He didn't do that bad, but of course he brought all his weird tropes into the factor, right?
Yeah.
Which I mean, I feel like some of it worked and most of it didn't. But like the very end fight scene was fantastic. And I think if you're gonna bring in something to DC that you need, I think you need to bring in heavy hitting directors that want to make like if there was some factor, Triggs just dropped out. I don't know where he went.
He said that his PC crashed. Keep going.
Oh, okay, that's fine. If you were to bring in and let's say Shot in the Dark, like Christopher Nolan comes back and says, "Hey, you know what? I did Batman. I want to do Superman." I would say let him take it.
Well, at this point, after fucking what's the fucking bomb movie that he just did?
What Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, what was the bomb movie he just did? Whatever movie that was. After that movie, he can write. He could do
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. After that movie, he's gonna be able to do whatever the fuck he.
Yeah,
that movie has and will scoop up every fucking award known to man. So he'll be able to do whatever the fuck he wants soon.
Like I feel like to gain the respect of these directors that are like, nah, man, superhero movies are stupid. They're playthings or whatever. I think you need to give them like the full creative opportunity to run with like the greatest characters of superhero times. Like it's like Christopher Nolan, this guy who made like an amazing Batman story. Like you would need to be like, here you go, easy opportunity. Christopher Nolan made the greatest, if not one of the greatest Batman films ever. He wants another rack at it. Give him Superman. Like give him the opportunity to just keep making, or just bring in fucking heavy hitting directors to fucking make superhero films in the DC universe. If you want to make baller movies, you need to bring in baller directors. You can't go with like the little small time people.
Yeah, but I would only bring him in if he was really into it. I'm not just going to bring him in just because I need someone of that stature to do this movie. I don't think that's the correct way to go about it. If he wanted to do it and was eager to do it and actually put the time in, the work in, the fucking the research,
make a masterpiece. Make a fucking masterpiece.
If he did it, then I would say yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But if he's doing it just for a paycheck and just doing it just to be doing it, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, that would suck. I definitely agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, Triggs, what about you?
What were we talking about?
If you were, I was saying that I think right now, for them to release like DC and come back into it, I think DC should reach out to like the heavy hittingest like directors and offer them the opportunity to make their top Trinity films.
What would you consider like top tier, top tier for that particular genre?
Specifically, he brought up Christopher Nolan.
Directors that like that are all like top level directors, like directors that do their own thing and people just say, hey, here's everything we own, you take it and make it because you do it. Then and I brought up Christopher Nolan.
So you would want like a Martin Scorsese, you know, Batman.
Only for the top three. Only for Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman.
Or like a Quentin Tarantino Superman.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, you're talking like weird themes though, but that's that's the point.
But that's not at all to say that he's not a fucking fantastic, if not one of the more prominent directors of our generation.
He's literally, I've said this plenty of occasions. That's my favorite director. But I think that's a good example is Christopher Nolan. I think that's a great example, Chris.
That's why I was specifying people who are versed in this particular genre.
I was trying to tell you. So he brought up Christopher Nolan, and I think that fits perfectly into this conversation because that is someone with some background.
Honestly, you know who I would also get? His brother, Jonathan Nolan.
Okay.
The dude helmed A Person of Interest.
Okay.
What about Peter Jackson?
That went on for like 8 seasons. Jim Caviezel, that was a fucking solid show. So like, if you gave him the opportunity to do something with that, especially even as a TV show, I mean, dude, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he couldn't replicate that same buzz.
Yeah,
I got you. Listen, and I'm not trying to take a shot or whatever, but if I have a shot at one of the Nolans, I'm probably
it would be Chris. Yeah, no, I mean, like, it would be Chris, obviously, right?
I'm probably gonna go with Chris.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. But if Chris don't pick up my phone call, I'm gonna call John.
Pick up the phone call. I will give John maybe the next ring or maybe the ring after that. But I would.
Yeah, I'll admit it, man. Like, I don't cry at movies, but I cried during Interstellar, and that's an amazing fucking film. And if he can make a film like that, then fuck, I would love for him to do Superman. Because I need to feel like the death of John Kent the way he could probably write it. But then again, like Jeremy put in the comment section, what about like Steven Spielberg?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I don't think I need a Spielberg Superman.
No, well, what about a Wonder Woman?
Okay.
You see what we're talking about changing? Because then you make it like an adventure film. She's a treasure hunter, dude. That's like Indiana Jones.
We're not fucking, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go see a treasure hunter fucking Wonder Woman. I don't know if I want to see that.
Well, no, I mean, she's not going to be a treasure hunter, but being that
I can just watch fucking Tomb Raider for that shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, except she's got like.
Or I could play Tomb Raider.
Or I could just play Tomb Raider. I'm not trying to see that in my Wonder Woman, bro. I want to see her punch something in the face.
Well, what about earlier you mentioned Triggs mentioned Scorsese. What if we got like Scorsese to do Batman?
No, it just doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
No.
Besides, he doesn't even like superhero movies.
Yeah, and plus he hates fucking. He has gone out of his way over the past decade to shit on fucking superhero movies.
But that's the thing, and this is all I'm saying is, what if we got the opportunity to let these masters give us a master class in storytelling a superhero story?
They don't specialize in that.
Christopher Nolan did very well with Batman 1, 2, and 3.
Well, we're talking about Christopher Nolan. We've already established, yes, that's a like I said, he fits perfectly into the conversation. When you're starting to talk about Martin Scorsese and fucking Tarantino, I don't think they fit in that world. I don't think they fit in that realm.
What about? And that's why, like, I had to preface, like the question. I was like, okay, like,
well, what if we? I was
like, dude, I can name masters who have zero fucking.
Because you know what? They're gonna harvest and zero in on some minute fucking aspect that I don't give a shit about in my superhero movie. Like, I'm just not gonna give a fuck about it, bro. Like,
what about the way Robert Rodriguez handled Battle Angel Alita?
I missed it, dude. You
didn't watch that movie? No. Alita the Battle Angel? That was fucking fantastic.
Still waiting for that sequel.
But that's because the anime doesn't have it. It's just a manga by now, so it's all based on, whatever.
The anime goes way further than that movie.
You're naming somebody in Robert Rodriguez that specializes in action. Like, that's something that, as long as you have that under your belt, those are one of those key things when it comes to your superhero movies, that as long as you have that, all the other shit that you're probably gonna that you're gonna want to focus on that I don't care about in my superhero movie, it's already gonna be there. So like, I can see a Robert Rodriguez before a Quentin Tarantino or before a Martin Scorsese.
But Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez are literally cut from the same cloth.
That's why I don't see either one of them. Who?
Like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino.
They have two different styles. They work well together. In what they have accomplished, but when you can definitely tell a Tarantino movie as opposed to a Robert Rodriguez movie, 1000%. It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
They work well together. When you put those names together on a production, then yeah.
Yeah, because I've always believed they've worked very well together because they're very like minded when it comes to it. Because you look at like Inglorious Bastards, you look at Reservoir Dogs, you look at some of the stuff Quentin Tarantino used to do back in the day, and it's got some pretty street level action, very compared to like Desperado, El Mariachi, like some of the movies that he did back in the day. Where like now you see Quentin Tarantino going for like the Django Unchained, which kind of has like a Shaft vibe, like kind of like it's got a lot of like the street hip hop. It's very much like the Boondock style, like the Boondocks cartoon. Like it's got like this hip hop to it, like this very street cred variation where Robert Rodriguez, like you said, went into like the superhero with like the sci-fi stuff, like he did.
Yeah.
But then you have Robert Rodriguez, yeah, he did like Spy Kids and all that shit, right? And then Mariachi, or not Mariachi, but what's El Machete?
Oh, Machete.
Like, he was always doing these like over the top variations. Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
I like that movie, by the way.
What, Once Upon a Time?
Oh well, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That's Tarantino.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
that's the one with Johnny Depp. It's Desperado Part 2.
Oh, okay.
That's
right.
That's
right.
Yeah. Which I mean, yeah, you're right. Like it's a good film. Yeah, it gets a little kind of wacky at the end when Johnny.
Oh, when he lost his eyes and shit. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which
I like that movie. I like that.
Good. No, it's good. I like that movie too. I'm a huge Desperado fan, dude. Huge Desperado fan. But like those movies, they're like kind of, you look at like you look at Desperado, the first movie, and then you look at what is it? Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Yeah. You can compare that storytelling to the Django Unchained films because the characters kind of correlate to in between those, where like Desperado was a little bit more grounded. But then you had like at the end with the three mariachis with like the guns and the guitars and pulling the rocket launcher out and doing all this crazy shit. And then the over the topness of Once Upon a Time in Mexico has a lot of the over the topness from like Django Unchained. You know what I mean? So like you can kind of see it. But yeah, I do understand where you said like Robert Rodriguez did go a little bit farther out into like the fiction part, right?
Quentin Tarantino, you can never, I don't know, you can probably, and this may be jumping off a ledge, but you can definitely confuse a Robert Rodriguez movie with someone else before you will confuse a Quentin Tarantino movie with someone else.
Oh, most
definitely. That's a fact.
And the only reason why I say they wouldn't be good for the superhero genre is because they don't really follow SAG rules. They don't follow SAG film rooms, so it's very hard for them to get like awards for this stuff. So like they wouldn't really be invited to come and do like superhero films when they want to be taken serious and stuff. But yeah, like the only reason why I was even bringing up this thing on conversation is because like, yes, and Scorsese came out once and was like, superhero films are stupid. You know what I mean? But how do you get those people to acknowledge superhero films if not let them try and make one and take the helm and take it serious? And I feel like DC is like a perfect opportunity for them because it needs to be rebuilt. It needs its masterpieces.
Yeah, but at the same time, the same argument could be made for like a Scorsese where he's like, okay, but at the same time, why not just treat it like a wounded horse and put it down?
And just put it down completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a lie. That's definitely not a lie. Good point. Okay, so onwards to the last part of our conversation, guys. Something that I have no idea what to expect. But Triggs, you know what you're doing. And Brian, I believe you got to see this opportunity. We've heard a million great things out of it so far, but I want to hear it from you guys because like I said before, like I have my ups and downs about this franchise. Yeah, Dune 2. Triggs, well, Brian, I'm going to let you go first because I think that Triggs is going to be the one to kind of like,
I could go on for a minute.
He's gonna
no. I want Triggs to go on first.
Negative, my guy.
No, okay. All right. I'll go. So, Chris, what do you want
to know? Of course, fucking right off the button. Brian has always been my guy on the seat, my comedy man when it comes to this. But like, You saw Dune 2, which surprised the fuck out of me. I didn't think you were gonna watch it.
I did get a chance to check it out.
What the fuck happened? How did this come to conclusion?
I'm just gonna say flat out, I was 1000% right. It was the worst movie I ever saw in my fucking life. Triggs is a fucking psycho, like I said, along with the rest of you fucking psychos out there that love this bullshit. No, I'm joking, guys.
It was mid.
Everybody relax. Everybody relax. I came to bear news that that movie was fucking good, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit.
It was fucking good. It was way better than the first movie. I get that nobody here has watched it besides me, so I'll avoid spoilers. But you can't base watching this movie off of the first one. You shouldn't do that. It's well worth it. There's some things that I don't like about it, like it's 3 fucking hours long. It's a long movie, and it feels like 3 hours. And the pacing and some of the parts of it was kind of a little wonky, but it was by design, so I respect it. Okay. But other than that, I have nothing but great things to say about this movie. Other than that, as everyone knows, I wasn't looking forward to watching this movie. But then once I heard people, continuously talking about how good this movie was, listen, I'm a hater. Like I was self admitted. I'm a fucking hater. But I can still have, I can still
respect.
Listen. I can still have respect. If someone's talking good about a movie, I'll go check it out. I'll give it a shot.
And you dug the new film?
So I dug it. I dug it a lot. I think that there were a lot of good qualities in this movie. I think that based off the last 10 years of me watching movies and, the last couple reporting them here with you guys, I don't know, what a masterpiece looks like anymore because there's so few and far, in between. But I think this is probably the closest we're going to get for a while.
Damn.
So they at least have that feather in their cap. And, I would love to go into spoilers and talk more in depth about it, but I'll just have to wait till the next time I'm on. But yeah, this movie was really good. I suggest everyone that hasn't seen it.
We'll drop some time in a little bit and we'll let you guys do spoilers. I don't mind. It's not going to fuck me up. I mean, it's not like I didn't see the 80s movie, so it's the same shit to me.
Got it.
You know what I mean? But the thing is what's cool is like I mean, you fucking saw it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you did the 6 hours of this shit. You know what I mean? And I want to ask just a simple question with being intrigued to watch the second version and you going back and finishing up and watching the whole entire part 1 again. Like, did it make it taste better when you finally put all both movies together? Like,
no,
does it make it feel like a better story, or is
part one
drag?
Yeah, part 1 is still a drag. There's no getting around that. I'm sorry. I respect it, and I finally finished it, but it's still a chore to get through for me personally.
Okay, with that part being said, and going with it, like, do you feel like part 1 played a very important asset at least into part 2?
No, and that would have been something that I went into in spoilers, because I honestly, if you saw maybe like 2 or 3 scenes from part 1, you would have been able to watch part 2.
Okay.
You didn't need to watch the whole. You didn't have to watch the whole fucking part 1 to understand where this movie was coming, where it was going, and where it went. You were gonna get the little twists and turns regardless of what happened in episode 1, because it comes out of nowhere. So like there was nothing. I watched 1 last night because I knew I was gonna wake up this morning and watch part 2. So I just did it for research purposes only, and it was a chore. It was a chore to get through. It was kind of rough, but part 2 was definitely worth it. It was worth going through part 1. It's way better than part 1. There's a lot of character development that gets flushed out in no time, it seems, but it's really good. The character arcs are awesome. I don't think there was not one person, and that's including Dave Bautista, that had a bad performance in this movie. Not one.
So you feel like nobody? Okay,
nobody. There was no weak link. Maybe if I wanted to put a weak link, it would be Dave Bautista, but that's only because everyone else is
time on screen.
But he had a decent amount of time on screen.
Okay.
Everyone did. I think everyone just did that well though. Like everyone just did. Even if you didn't have a lot, Christopher Walken doesn't have a lot of time on screen, but the little screen time that he has, he kills it.
I love Christopher Walken.
It's like top notch Christopher Walken, bro. Like theatrical Christopher Walken. Like that was fucking great.
And the last question I'd like to ask you, without spoiling anything, before I let you and Triggs, because I know once Triggs starts, you're going to be able to coincide with him and really get into it. Is who was your favorite standout character in this film?
Timothy Chalamet.
The main
He
kid?
stood out. The main kid. Only because he didn't wow me. He didn't like do anything for me in the first movie. This movie, he gets fleshed out really, really well. And and his mom too.
Jessica Chastain.
Honestly,
or Rebecca Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Yeah.
All right. So this is who did a really, really good job. Standouts are Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, the Bardem guy. What's his name?
Javier
Bardem.
Yeah.
Standout.
The dude, the tribal guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Elvis. Great job. All of them. Honestly, I can keep going down the list. Everyone did a really good job, but those were like the kind of stuff. And then Zendaya did a fucking great job too. Florence Pugh, she didn't have a lot of time, but the time that she had, she was great.
Amazing.
Yeah, dude. Like
she was a scene stealer, dude.
Yeah, like this. Normally, when you get this many powerhouses in a movie, you can easily miss for some reason. It's like people miss with this type of shit. Yeah. But everyone brought out the big guns. This is almost like theater, but like on a screen.
A screen, yeah, like a film.
Yeah.
Damn, that's awesome. Well, Triggs, the floor is yours, and I say that wholeheartedly. Like, you got yourself a win, my guy. Brian saw the Dune series and didn't even want to watch it 3 weeks ago, man.
Yeah.
And
let me just first say, this movie is opening up to $82 million on its opening weekend.
Very nice.
$82 million.
I didn't think it was going to be Madam Web, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking dude, it is crushing it. This movie is going to do exactly what it did a couple years ago and win a whole lot of accolades. Tell you that right now. There's a lot of people who are going to get nominated or win something because of this fucking movie. Nice. This is one of those movies where you see it and you enjoy every aspect of film making, from dialogue to performance to action sequences, cinematography, musical scoring, shot placement, like everything. It is just a beautiful movie start to finish. I will have to say, I understand why Brian feels the way that he does when it comes to 1 and 2, that you don't need to necessarily see all of it. I don't exactly agree with that, because there are certain nuances that you kind of won't understand, but those are more just for purists. So that's why I'm kind of like, I get it, but at the same time I don't. I would have to disagree, but half disagree. I get it. Because he's not wrong. There's only a few key scenes in 1 that really tie into 2, but there are things in between those scenes that made the ones in 1 more impactful, which in turn made them what they are in 2. So there's a little bit of give and take with that. Secondly, Florence Pugh she's probably one of the best female actresses in the fucking world right now. That woman could fucking, fart on screen for 2 hours and I'll think it's a masterpiece. She is doing nothing wrong. Holy Mother of God.
Was there all right, so when it comes to, because there was a lot of character development in this movie. Was there any character development that stood out to you?
Actually 3 people. Honestly, everyone's did, but it was one of those things where I have to kind of harp on every single one of them, right?
Okay.
Because even I really have to give it up to Florence Pugh, because she only had 1 movie to really shine. right? And she only had like 20 minutes in this movie, 30 minutes in this movie.
It wasn't
like
a lot.
grand total, yeah,
It
some
wasn't a
shit.
lot.
Yeah. But you had to make her character develop so much from the moment that you see her to the moment like she leaves screen.
Yeah.
In 3 hours, right? And with only like a very, very limited window. That is like really fucking hard. And Denis Villeneuve kills it in that.
Yeah.
Because when you first see it, she's very solemn, right? Melancholy, if you will, right? She's super disturbed about what her dad just did, what her dad helped perpetrate, and she's just like, but I think something's coming, dude. Like, I don't trust this. I don't like it. And then boom, she's right. Paul's still alive, and she's like, well, shit. This is not good. And then her dad is like, he's a bitch though. Like, we'll take care of this. Yeah. And then, things progress, and she's just like, well, hey, hold on. Let's not jump the gun here, there, guy. If we decide that, we decide to do things your way, will it be cool? And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll let it go, but I'm going to be watching you. With that being said, I want to let you guys know that the ending to Dune Part 2 is so different from the 1986 film. It is so fucking different.
Okay.
In the 1986 film, everybody's like, yeah, where we won. Arrakis has reigned. Yes. That does not at all happen in Dune Part 2. There's a lot of people cheering, but what they're cheering for is really bad. Like really, really bad. There's a lot of bad things are happening in this third movie. A lot of bad things are going to happen in this third movie. I'll gladly go over it, but but that will go into spoiler territory. I'll take care of that, either next week or, Chris, if you want to do it, I can do it, tonight.
Yeah,
but,
most definitely. I feel like, that's like a reward all on its own. You guys went out and saw the movie, and you guys get this opportunity to be able to actually like talk about it and discuss it. I think, we just got to make sure that we let the people know in the comments if they haven't seen it. I'm trying to
be as cool about it.
So let's just stay on part 2 for right now. So I have a couple questions for you. So when it comes to Timothy Chalamet, how did you think he did as Paul as opposed to part 1?
This is kind of one of those things where like you have a single character that has so much depth to him, and like his character development is run over the course of 6 hours as opposed to like 20 minutes, like I was saying with Florence Pugh, right? But you see him as like a kid, like he's a literal teenager when you first see him, right? And he's treated like one, he acts like one. At the end of the movie, dude, this kid like runs the show now. He's the top dog, and he knows that, and he also accepts that role now. Like there's a lot of force growing that has to happen, that did come, and it was one of those things where like everyone around him pushed him to be that.
That was one of the things that was rushed, though. I feel they didn't do a good job of that turn. Like there's a turn that happens there, and like you said, at some point he realizes, yo, I'm him. And they're gonna know that I'm him, but we don't really get the development for that. It's kind of like,
would you have wanted to see more in it? Because yes, they do explain a lot more of that in the book.
Yeah,
but that's also the thing. If you like panel for panel the book, dude, this is like a 12-hour movie.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, and I know that they quickened it up with him drinking the water of life, and then that just like for some reason like that. It's not for some reason, because they do a good job explaining what the water of life is during the movie, right? And so you kind of get your answers answered. He's just able to see into the past, into the future, because he drinks water. So
this is also and I know what you mean, and I'm going to answer that question because no, it was never answered. What technically the Kwisatz Haderach is, or the Lisan Al Gaib, you know,
his name,
what it is, right?
The myth.
So the Messiah essentially is a person, and Lady Jessica says it. She says it in the first movie. She touches on it, and never again is this mentioned.
Okay.
She says that that the Kwisatz Haderach, the Lisan Al Gaib, is a person who can see both into the past and to the present, and can control the outcomes of both. Mm-hmm. So basically, what he is he's a Bene Gesserit, and he's a Mentat, which is basically the super smart people, like the guy who rolled his eyes back. Yeah. That guy is considered a Mentat. His brain is essentially a computer.
Yeah.
He's a Bene Gesserit who like has the weirding way. He's a witch. Yeah, he's a witch, and he's also a space navigator.
Yeah.
He can utilize spice to see things differently and see the outcome of things. Because he has all three, he attunes them, and so he essentially has like future vision. So go for it.
No, I was gonna say that was one of the things that I wrote down a whole list of shit that I was gonna talk about because I didn't know if we were gonna do spoilers or not. But that was one of the things that I had written down. Is that
what is the Kwisatz Haderach?
It's him, but the fact that they do a good job tying in about how he is literally the center of everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Like Chris, like anything. I don't know if you remember the first movie or not, but like everything you were mentioned or introduced to you or something, he has some type of
tie to it.
Yeah, everything. Like literally everything in this world.
Let me add the title up for you guys so you guys can talk.
That I think they did a good job tying that in. I would have liked for them to touch on, another family that he's a part of that you don't really find out until the end of this movie.
Okay, and that I'm gonna have to say I don't think that was really mentioned all that much until Dune Messiah. Like I know that they kind of spoke on it in Dune in the book.
Yeah,
but I really have to go through the book again because I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let me get this for you guys then. Well, you know what? If you're watching, you haven't had the opportunity to see the film, I want to let you know. I'm going to give you a solid minute. We're going to play our spoiler theme song. And then after that, we're going to allow Brian and Trigger the opportunity to get it out on the table, everything out on the table.
Watch, Brian's going to be like, this movie was mid.
This is
no, I'm going to like, what the fuck? This movie was good.
That was trash. Okay. Anybody else in the comment section? If you have comments, don't be afraid to put them in the comment section after we start. So let me hit it. Hit the music. Oh, here we go. I made this song myself. I'm so happy. Here we go. Here we go. All right, boys. The room is yours. We are now in spoilers talk for Dune 2. If you haven't seen the film, just letting you know, we're going to let you guys go with this. Gentlemen, let them have it.
I am now going to mention exactly what Brian was just talking about.
Let him have it.
When Paul drinks the water of life, he attunes to both the women and males' memories of his past.
Yeah.
This means he's able to look into the memories of his grandfather, of his mother and father, which means he knows who Lady Jessica's parents are. Lady Jessica's parents are the Bene Gesserit, I forget, it's Monheim, the Reverend Mother Monheim. She's the one who held the needle to his neck. That's his grandmother. And Baron Harkonnen is his grandfather. Baron Harkonnen the fat guy. Baron Harkonnen, when he was young, raped that Bene Gesserit, and she in turn produced Lady Jessica.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like where everything happened, and yeah, and so that's why, like at the very very end of the movie, you know, Paul is like cousin, and you to Fade Routha, and Fade's like, okay, so you do know. Oh well, I mean, you're not the first family member I've killed, so let's get this. And by the way, that fight scene is fucking sick, bro.
It's sick. You know why it's sick? Do you know why it's sick? It's not like they did anything special, but it was very short and sweet. It wasn't.
But it wasn't just short and sweet. It was one of those things where it was like everything. It really could have gone either way.
Served a purpose. Every movement served a purpose.
Yeah, it really
I don't know.
did.
All right, so and I'm not to nitpick. I think I am, but not to nitpick. The Austin Butler, like his character, didn't do much to think that he could stand toe to toe with
this dude,
with Paul. Paul was a badass. Like at a certain point, he was fucking people up. Like he was a powerhouse, and I didn't see that matchup going the way that it did. I get why they did it storyline wise. I get why they did that. But
I can answer that question for you.
He didn't seem to me like he could stand toe to toe with Paul.
Okay, so the reason that he thought that is because a lot of the people that he was killing in that gladiatorial arena are Atreides.
Okay,
they are of the Atreides like empire, and he fucking dominates those dudes. You know, low diffs them. And so that's why, like, him going into that was a very, very arrogant thing. But that's also Fade's like character. But like, he's a very, very arrogant character.
But the gladiator scene, which is a beautiful fucking scene. By the way.
Dude, it was so fucking cool.
That was a beautiful scene, by the way. The gladiators, the Atreides, what's the name?
Atreides.
The Atreides. Those fighters were drugged up. So like,
yeah.
They were drugged up, so it was like he wasn't fighting fair. It was just a show. It was just a show for the fans for this guy to like cut down these people or whatever. They were drugged up, so they showed him and how good he was.
I'd have to also say I think that was kind of something that was left out of the book. Because in the book he's trying to drug Paul in the fight to make it exactly how it was when he was fighting in the arenas.
Yeah. So like this was saying, like they didn't do a good job showing his power set, because he was fighting drug fighters.
Yeah, he's fighting dirty.
Yeah, he's fighting dirty, okay. And then it's like that gladiator scene when Russell Crowe gets stabbed before they go out, and so it was like one of those type of things. And so like they didn't do a good job fleshing that out. So then when he's standing across from Paul, I'm like, this is like a no brainer here, bro. And it didn't.
Bad matchup.
Yeah, it seemed like a bad matchup, but it wasn't.
It was a Jake Paul fight this weekend.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it ended up being a fucking Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul.
Yeah, it was definitely a good scene. I like it that they didn't draw it out long because they could have milked.
Yeah, and if you saw the 1986 one, that fight is like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
dude, this one is like 2.
Yeah,
I've heard great things about Austin Butler's character, that it's a way better impersonation of the character than Sting did, because Sting kind of did like the whole like
he was very flamboyant in the 1986.
Okay.
Very David Bowie and Labyrinth kind of.
Yeah, he's very out there and very like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill this Atreides.
Or very much like Khan from Star Trek.
Austin Butler was kind of a no nonsense.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Yeah, if you want to get
dude, and if you listen to his interviews about the character, there was one thing that I really wanted to know was like, how is his voice going to sound? Like, is he going to sound like Sting? Is he going to sound like Elvis? Is he going to sound like old Austin Butler? Like, what's he going to sound like? Yeah. And then when Austin Butler was doing like his first like 5 takes or something like that, he kind of went through each voice. He went through an Elvis voice. He went through an old Austin Butler voice. He went through like new Austin Butler voice. Then he tried doing a Stellan voice. The Stellan Skarsgård, but with his like flair into it. Mm-hmm. So that's why you like when the first time you hear, because it's a part of like a China or Thailand trailer where you hear Fade and he's like, oh, may thy knife chip and shatter, and he's kind of trying to rasp up his voice like Stellan does. Yeah, and so Denis was like, do that, and like but before that, Denis was like, well, why'd you do that? And he was like, well, I've hung out with this dude for like 20 years. Of course, I'm probably going to sound like him. And Denis was like, do that. Yeah, we like that. Shit. Do that. And it worked, you know, and it was a great portrayal to like how Stellan, you know, it has such an effect on upcoming characters, you know, in one that had just, you know, come out for this.
Brian, question for you. What makes you feel like the Christopher Walken scene was like some of his best work?
It's like top-notch Christopher Walken.
It's very outside his wheelhouse, which is so cool. You don't get to see this side of Christopher Walken.
Yeah, normally in the last couple of years, you're gonna get like the funny,
the comedic.
Yeah. You're gonna get that.
I didn't want cowbell, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna get that Christopher Walken in every movie. He's basically the same character in every fucking movie. This one, it was fun. It was fun to see him do something different.
Okay.
He took this serious. This was a serious role. The Emperor is being portrayed as this, you know, calculated
tyrant,
cold-blooded tyrant that is jealous and, you know, doesn't, you know, he's not for the play. So he portrayed that. And
but mostly he let the jealousy get to him. Like,
yeah.
You know, and that's what really fucks with Florence Pugh's character, Princess Irulan, is that she was like, but he loved the Atreides. Like they meant something to him.
Yeah.
And like when he did this, like he understand that he like essentially killed a family member, or you know, he killed family members. But that's the impact that it had. But he was like, but he is so dead set on maintaining his power that for him it was worth what he's feeling.
Well, he explained, and again, in the short time that he was on screen, he explained why he did, like right before Paul kind of like
makes him bow.
Yeah, basically before you made him bow. He basically explained why he did it. And he basically just told Paul to his face, yo, your dad was weak, bro. Your dad was weak sauce, man, and he had to go. And I thought that would have been it. I thought Paul was going to kill him, but he just made him bow. Because I think killing the father,
the Emperor,
killing the Emperor in front of the daughter wouldn't have kind of worked out well.
Well, in front of his whole fucking court, like it's kind of like
that's the thing. And you know what? And I'm gonna touch on that right now. And I'm gonna touch on this for two reasons. One, the reasoning behind why he didn't. And two, how this plays into the third/second part of like the story, right? So the first one is that exactly what happens at the very, very end of the movie, where the other houses of the Landsrat don't recognize his ascendancy. Had he done that, they would have been like, yeah, absolutely not. You just murdered the Emperor. Like, obviously, we don't recognize this. He thought by doing the duel and making him bow in front of his court, they would be like, well, obviously, like he made him submit, right? He's the more like he just won.
Yeah.
You know, he challenged him. Emperor lost. Sucks. Now we have a new emperor. Okay, cool. Yeah, it didn't happen. The rest of the houses of the Landsrat were like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, Paul's like 19. You're dumb.
You're dumb.
You know, and so at the very end, you know, where he like whispers, show them paradise or lead them to paradise. What he's saying is go kill everybody.
Yeah, go fuck them up.
Yeah,
or at least that first wave to where they know I'm not fucking around with you, and then they're just
that's the thing. You have to understand, they see him as God.
Yeah.
Their new religion is formed around that little boy. He will be responsible for 60 billion deaths all over the universe.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he was afraid of in the first movie.
He got his hands on those nukes, and
dude. At this point, he's standing on business. This is him standing on business, and he's like, I understand exactly what I have to do now, and I don't like it.
So, Chris, like, during his ascension as this Messiah or whatever, he realizes that he still has access to his dad's fucking
arsenal
and shit. Yeah. And so he finds it, and now this kid who is the Messiah, who's about to be on this fucking drug fucking ego power trip is now in control of fucking like 90 something nukes. And it is waiting for someone to say something stupid so he can bomb the shit out of you.
And that was the question that I wanted to ask you guys. Like, okay, so I said, I saw this movie back in the 80s. So, it's very far fetched. That's what I'm going to remember. I did watch the first movie. I got a good, real nice little good footnotes of catch up or whatever. But like in the second film, when you're seeing Paul come to his character and come through the ends and stuff like that before the Messiah part, do you feel the torment of the character where one part is revenge and one part is the weight of him knowing that people think he's like this Messiah-esque character? Do you see the turmoil in the character through the film? Because one part is like, yo, they wiped his dad out. Like, and they took a better part kingdom from him in one night, and he's still kind of like coming off of that. Like he's like the weekend of
his turmoil doesn't come necessarily from the fact that he's lost his father. He's pissed about that.
Yeah,
he's just really upset.
He lost everything.
So he's pissed about that, but it's not like
but his turmoil doesn't come from that.
It's not the driving force of what he's doing, and what I'm saying. It's more of the fact that he is the Messiah and that he knows that he's supposed to be the one. See, and that's the one thing that they kind of like teeter on the line is like. In one scene, he acknowledges that he's this Messiah and he's supposed to lead these people and lead everyone to fucking freedom or whatever. But then on the other hand, on like in a split second, he'd be like, yo, this is just some bullshit. And telling his mom, you got to stop spreading this bullshit about me because like it's just a fairy tale.
Yeah, because of the weight of it, right?
Like it's just a fairy tale. Like I'm just trying to lead, I'm just trying to do the best that I'm just trying to do the best that I can. I'm not this Messiah. But then once he drinks the water of tears or whatever the fuck it's called, that's gone. Like anything,
the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah, ever since he drank that, all of that trepidation, all of that was out the window. Now I am the Messiah. This is what's going on. It's like he had once he drank it, he knew the path to get where he wants to go, and there was nothing. That's
and later on in the third story, essentially what happens in Dune Messiah is. He realizes the course of action that he has to go, and it is not something that he wanted. He was afraid of it in the first movie, and this is where he like yells at Rebecca Ferguson's character, Lady Jessica's character, where he's like, "Get off of me!" Like he's like, "You guys made me a freak. Like you Bene Gesserit made me a freak." He's like, "This is all your fault." And the reason that he's doing that or that he's seeing that is because he's being exposed to spice. And spice being, a very, very powerful hallucinogenic, he's able to his powers are starting to manifest. To manifest. And he's starting to see into the future through essentially his computer brain going on overload. And this is the outcome that you are going to go through these events that have to happen. And essentially what he's trying to achieve is something what's called the golden path, and the golden path is basically the leading of humankind into its next stage of humanity and not letting it stagnate, because if they stagnate, the species will eventually go extinct.
It'll die out.
And well, his like the way to the golden path is not a nice one. It is. Well,
that's where the genocide and the murder and all the killings and all the stuff come, right?
But once all that happens, he puts a stop to it right quick.
Yeah,
real quick.
He's got to be weighing him down super crazy when he starts getting those powers kicking in.
Yeah, and on top of that, when he has his second child, because his second child are twins, it's Leto the Second and Ghanima. And during that, Chani dies because she dies in childbirth.
Oh yeah.
And he never has a child with Princess Irulan. If anything, she's actually tried to kill Chani twice.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it does not go well for her.
Okay, so with that being said, like, how far do you see this director going? Because I think we've just got.
He's already said that he's going to complete the Atreides, like the Paul's story.
Okay, so
story essentially finishes in Dune Messiah.
Yeah.
And in Children of Dune, he dies. Like he's killed in Children of Dune, and uh he's killed for like the fucking shittiest reason. But uh yeah, like his sister has something kind of to play in that, and and that's who Anya Taylor-Joy was. Her uncredited cameo was his little sister. Yeah, it was little Princess Alia.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes fucking sense. What else was I know I was gonna ask something. Shit, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I was gonna. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Mentioning what you did earlier. You mentioned that the ending was changed.
Yes.
So, how would you kind of like explaining to me, because I saw the old movie. How much has the ending changed? Like, what's the whole thing about it? Like, what's coming? What's something that?
So that's what I mean. Like in the 1986 film, like boom, the story is finished, right? Like, yeah, we won. I'm emperor.
Yeah,
There's rain. Yeah, Chani's still here. At the very end, he's like, lead them to paradise. All the Fremen are like, fuck yeah, bro. I'm gonna go see water.
Yeah,
woo. And like, dude, they're like, I'm gonna fucking kill stuff. Woo! Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yeah, he like that first wave just goes and fucks up the Landsrat. They fuck those people up. And they come back and they're like, hey, by the way, you're the emperor now. Cool. We're going to go back out, but the whole universe is going to chant your name. That's cool, right? Yeah, that's cool. All right, fuck you. We're doing it anyway.
Was that the vision that he had in the first film?
Yep.
When he's doing all the cool backflips and shit in the sand and stuff?
No, it's the worst one where he's like freaking out to Lady Jessica, and he was like a holy war will be started in my name, waving the banner of my family, seated at the throne of my father, like enshrined in his skull.
Was that already like super far into the massacres, or was that
that's at this point, like he's like, oh yeah, dude, like everybody is bowing to Paul.
Wow.
But he's not like a bad emperor. It's just that like, yeah, the holy war is coming, and that's what Lady Jessica says. She's like, well, fucking the holy war is coming now. Like everybody's gonna learn. Yep. and Chani, but that was the biggest difference. The biggest difference in the movie is that at the very end, Chani's like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. Fuck the Fremen. Fuck that prophecy shit. Fuck you. I'm not doing that. I'm going to sandworm out of here.
By chance, I can't remember too far, but like, which character survived and made it into this film? Like
everyone besides Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa, right?
Yeah. He's the only one that died. And
so he's like,
what's the fucking father?
He's Pedro Pascal or whatever his fucking
not
name.
Pedro Pascal, the other guy. But
Dominic Isaac,
number 2.
Dominic Isaac,
Dollar General Pedro Pascal.
Hey man, you put some respect on his name too, motherfucker.
Well, I did. I said he's from Dollar General. I didn't say he's from the dollar store.
It's same thing, dude. I don't go to either of those.
He says Robert says poor Zendaya. She was.
Yeah, and that I would have to also say, and he's right. Like
that's the way it is, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing: in the book, he looks at Chani and he tells her, like, he was like, I understand what this looks like and that I have to marry her. Right now, we're in a difficult time, and these are the rules that we have to play by. But I'm going to tell you this right now: as long as I breathe, I will always love you. This woman will only ever share my name. She will never know the tenderness of my touch, the love in my heart, or like anything like that. He was like, those will always be for you.
That's one of those instances where it just came out of nowhere. You didn't know that was intention, but you have to kind of just
go two and two together for that.
Deduce it just for the fact that okay, he drank the water of tears, so I guess that's what made him like. That's what kind of like gave him the vision to do that. So that's why he's doing it. So that wasn't flushed out. Like that wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right. Did that. Yeah, like because he never says any of that.
He never says any of that.
Yeah, he just like looks at her and he's like, "You're cool with this, right?" And she's like, "Fuck you," and then takes off. And like that's it.
The porn star girlfriend treatment, or she did.
Oh no, dude, she's straight
dudes, but I love you though.
Yeah, no, she's straight Melissa Stratton's and bounces, dude. Like
Yeah,
she was out.
pissed.
Good.
Yeah, she was
Good.
pissed.
But they do have children, right?
Later on, yes.
Yeah, like I know that they do hook up. Like that is the story, and it ends up going this way and that way.
Well, in the very dude, I mean, like at the very, very end of the story, and I mean, like of the last 10 books or whatever, one of the last things that's written is Paul and Chani reuniting after like 4,000 years of being dead, essentially, and he tells her like, even after all this time, I finally get to have you all to myself. And like, there's he doesn't have to marry anybody else. He gets to marry Chani, and he gets to be with Chani.
4,000 years later. Fantastic, boys. Fantastic. Brian, overall, how was this experience for you, man?
It was pretty enjoyable. It was a pleasant surprise, I should say. I wasn't looking forward to it. Again, I made a game time decision at 10 o'clock last night to rewatch Dune Part 1, and then I watched Dune 2 today, and it was pretty good. It was pretty fucking good.
Excellent.
Let me ask you this, Brian. You know, especially with you know, like all the buzz going on around it, right? Because like obviously you weren't falling for this buzz, right? You already had a certain expectation and mindset going into Dune 2.
Yeah.
With that being said, would you agree with that buzz with like what it is right now, or do you still think that like because I'm assuming you're rating it at like an 8 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10 or a 12 out of 10.
I'm probably gonna give just the second part. Just the second part, I'm probably gonna give that like a 9 out of 10. That was really good.
Okay, but my question still stands. Like, would you?
Then yeah,
you know,
then yeah. I think all the buzz was warranted. I don't feel like what I read the people were stupid for saying, because now I just sat through 3 hours of bullshit. I don't feel that way at all. I feel the complete opposite. I think I'm glad that I watched those reviews and I watched you know, people report on it, so that I was interested in watching it. Again, if it was based off of just strictly the first movie, I probably would not have watched it. But there was so many people that were saying that it was so good, everyone can't be wrong. So I'm like, all right, dude, like if I'm missing out,
FOMO, right?
Yeah, it is. But it wasn't that. It's probably just as good, if not better, than what everyone's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, some of these reviews are coming out, you know, are saying that like this is like the best sci-fi film
ever.
You know what? You know the feeling that I got. I got the feeling for like a big Star Wars movie, or for like something that was anticipated. It had that and actually delivered. It was one of those feels. Although I wasn't anticipating it, it delivered. Like as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this is the same feeling when I was a kid watching fucking Clone Wars or something like that, or I'm sorry, Attack of the Clones. Yeah, like Attack of the Clones or something like that. Like that big event,
like massive, you know,
big
war
event
scene.
film. Yeah, that big event feel, and that's what I got from this movie. So that was undeniable. That was pretty cool.
Even crazier, I heard someone say that this was a movie that felt like it was pre-coronavirus. Like it felt like it was a movie that was made pre-corona, which is, it's hard to comprehend like what that feels like nowadays anymore. Because like it did make a dynamic movement in the whole entire like aspect of just the way we consider life.
If I look at it that way, I guess, but I don't feel that way.
Okay.
See, and for me, like, I mean, I'm gonna dick ride here, right?
Yeah,
I'll say it right now, dude. I'm gonna dick ride this so hard.
That bitch.
Yeah, dude. Jeremy just said, you know, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King type energy, right? Yeah. Which is, I'm just saying, has been considered one of the best fantasy movies ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I'll go watch it right now. Just
the director's cut or extended edition. Fucking let's go. But yeah, I would have to say that yes, Dune Part 2 is pretty much the bar against which sci-fi movies are going to have to be compared against.
Good shit. That's a fucking high mark.
Yeah, and I'm actually about to burst a bubble here, a bubble or two. I just want to let you know, George Lucas based his Star Wars universe off of the Dune universe.
Yeah, off of this. I remember that. Robert asks in the question,
do you think there will be a major death in the next one? Yeah.
You're like, fuck yeah, there's got to be major deaths.
Yep,
In that.
there's gonna be quite a few. So just get ready.
Yeah. Well, how long are we looking at the third film coming out? I mean, 2 years off.
Dude, honestly, the way that this just opened up, I guarantee you, Denise, like, so when do I get my money for the third one? And they're gonna be like, just give us a second. We'll like
We're
cash
gonna
app you or
cash
something.
app you, baby. We're gonna
Yeah.
Apple Pay you, my man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, Triggs, for you, what would you rate this? I already kind of know where this is going.
dude, 12 out of 10, easy.
12 out of 10. 12 out of 10. Highly recommended, folks. You heard it here from the boys. If you get a chance and you have an opportunity, you have to go see Dune 2. You have to go see Dune 2. The reason why I say that is because if Brian went out to go watch it,
Yeah, that's saying a lot, bro.
that's a
It really
motherfucker
is,
right
and
there.
this is this is coming from the dude who like shot me down,
For
like
months.
just
For months.
yeah.
Almost
Bro,
a year.
we literally had
Since we heard about
shit fest
coming
like
out.
2 weeks, like
Yeah.
a month and a half ago, just straight shitting on Dune, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And to see like it unfold to where Brian's like, nah, man, I got bamboozled enough to go watch it, and I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if it's good, it's good. I mean, I went out. I went out so that I can come back in here and just rain all over fucking Trigger's
You were ready,
parade,
dude.
but-
You were ready. You were just getting the ammo.
Yeah,
ready.
I-
fucking, and he watches this and he's like, "Fuck, it was good. God
It was
damn
good.
it!"
It was
You
good.
took a fucking pillow and blanket, knowing you were gonna fall asleep the first hour. Like
It was fucking
you're ready,
good.
man.
Right? He already took his Ambien and shit.
Yeah,
and
he was-
he's
I was
like,
ready.
"Wait,
I got my
fuck."
comforters, my pillows, and all that
I
shit.
got my Snuggie and shit.
Nah, I kept. And you know also,
Fuck,
one
dude,
last
this is
thing.
interesting.
One last thing that that burned in the back of my mind. As I'm watching a movie, sometimes when I'm watching a movie and I think that it's good, I just look around to see what everyone else is like doing, if they're on their phones or look up in fucking sky or looking at the fly that's in the fucking light and shit like that. Like, what are they doing? These motherfuckers were glued, bro.
Glued to
Like
that shit.
glued to that shit. Like it
awesome.
seemed that people would had their mouths open and like breathing through their mouths and shit. Like it was weird. So there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna give this like a fucking 20 out of 10. Like
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of people that do
That was me during that fucking Mugen Train Demon Slayer movie when everyone was crying, and I don't know why they were crying for that fucking dude, because he was in there for like 5 minutes, and I didn't watch the series, and I was just
Bro.
looking at everybody, and I was like, the fuck are all you guys crying about?
Bro, dude, just set your heart ablaze, okay?
Yeah, just
Fucking- yeah.
please, for God means put your fucking heart ablaze of some
Yeah,
shit.
dude, set your heart ablaze, dude. Put some respect
Exciting
on
times, man. Exciting times. What a weird place that we live in, that this movie came and rocked the socks out of everybody. I hope this like reawakens Hollywood and lets
I
people
think it
know that.
should.
And because of the fact that the only thing that makes it so much more important is the fact that how close it stuck to the book, and us being sticklers for resource, and it being successful again, like following the format of following the book as bestly as you can. Like they can change a little bit, but they stuck to it. Triggs, am I wrong?
Not entirely, no. You know, this is kind of like where we like really like shit on comic books, you know, because you have to understand this book has been said all over Hollywood is unadaptable. You cannot make this movie. There's no way you can make this book into a movie. Well, guess what? They did.
They did.
And
they're
they
doing
fucking
really good at it.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Denis
So, like-
fucking dude, this guy is basically the fucking Kevin Feige and Russo brothers just rolled into one right now and is just on fire.
And last question for both of you. If you were to see this guy, the director of this film, go to another IP, what would you like to see him make?
Fuck it, dude, Batman. Why not?
Brian?
I think I would have liked him to do the second Gladiator. Now that I saw like that whole
Fight scene?
Roman fights, like that Roman-esque gladiator fight scene, I would have loved to see him do that for real.
Fucking
It's-
A, that's a good call.
Yeah.
It's a really good call. And me, I was thinking something else. I was thinking Star Wars.
Okay.
Have him come in and do just a straight, for him to be able to do a space story of this magnitude. Star Wars would be fucking easy for him.
Yeah.
You know
Dude,
what I mean?
honestly, yeah, like go ahead, let him do a Star Wars. Let him do a Star Wars.
Yeah. Just give him the reins, dude, and let him fucking
Yeah.
take that shit. I think he'd do fantastic.
Dude, he's gonna look at Ryan Johnson and he's gonna be like, watch this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Bringing in heavy hitters like that and just having them do some amazing. And I guarantee, man, like that would be up for awards, dude. Like,
Because I guarantee you, fucking George Lucas would come out of hiding. He'd be like, Hey man, what y'all doing over there, man? What you doing?
Nah, I mean after after the next award seasons or whatever, this guy is not going to be short of
Jobs.
awards
Work,
or
yeah.
jobs or anything.
Yeah.
This is probably going to clean up. I don't know if it's going to be eligible for this year, but for definitely for next year.
It should. I mean, this is still pretty early, like really relatively early in the year.
Yeah, but I would still think that they would be up for a lot of awards.
And do you think this movie makes a big enough impact in Hollywood to change the dynamic of the franchise or all franchises across the board? Like it raises the bar because I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if it does that type of heavy lifting, but it does well for that franchise.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because I was gonna say like the only other heavy hitting film that I could think of this past year would be Oppenheimer, like of this kind of nature. That's
Fuck
very
no,
dramatic.
dude. This squashes Oppenheimer.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and even then, I don't think that's a lot of weight to put on just one or two movies to try to save a whole fucking industry.
Yeah, dude. I guarantee you, Florence Pugh is gonna be like, man, doesn't matter, bro. Just hand me an award, like Oppenheimer or Dune. It doesn't matter. I'll take it.
She was involved in both. That's right.
Yeah, she was.
Fuck.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
This bitch is in everything good right now, dude. Everything good right now.
And then she
has
still got
some Florence Pugh in it
for the fucking Young Avengers shit.
And she's gonna be in fucking Thunderbolts. She's gonna be fucking everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
But can you imagine, dude, coming off of like Oppenheimer, then going to fucking Dune 2, and then dropping into the Thunderbolts?
That's wild.
That's like fucking, doing what is it? Fucking what is it? The Big Apple fucking Broadway, and then doing a fucking theater show at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah,
it's like doing the biggest ones there, and then fucking jumping the Boys and Girls Club. Which nothing wrong with
I guess. I mean, it's still a Disney project, and she's like the lead, so it's still big time. But I don't know.
That's
yeah, but she was also hilarious in Hawkeye, though.
Yeah, she's gonna get a lot of looks.
Yeah, she carries that shit, man. She carries it. Boys, what do we got planned for this week, man? What's going on? What's been new? Work.
So I have a second job. I also now work at the Elite Poker Lounge over in McAllen on Ware Road and the Expressway behind Cracker Barrel. So you will catch me either at the Still Tap or at Elite Poker Lounge. I now work 7 days a week. There's never not a day that I'm not working for the foreseeable future.
Good shit, man. Good shit. Work hard. Get on that grind.
Yeah.
Ryan, life. What about you, my man?
Brian is having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I mean, just a lot of work this week, man. That's it. And that's it. More work.
Well, like I said, Brian, it's good to have you back. It was such a good time to have you back on the show and catch up with you and all that good stuff, man.
Yes.
Are you, last question before we go, are you excited for Deadpool 3? With all the hype and all the stuff?
Yeah, I think it's going to deliver.
Oh, and real quick, what did you think of the X-Men 97 trailer?
I liked it.
I'm still wondering, like, how Professor Xavier died.
Yeah,
like I don't remember that happening.
Explain it to us.
I like it. I'm gonna watch it. I like the fact that they kind of kept it close to the old
art
version.
style?
Yeah, art style.
Yeah.
It's a little modernized.
They just polished it up a little bit.
Yeah, they modernized it a lot. So I'm kind of interested to see how I feel about that. But it looks pretty cool, man.
Good stuff. Brian, like I said, good to have you back.
Always.
Hopefully we
Thanks
get
for having me, guys, man. I love
man, of course, bro. You just tell me when you're free and you're instantly in, Ben.
Bro, what are you talking about? You could basically just jump in the last 30 minits and be like, hey, throw me on.
Yeah, it'd be like, word up. You guys look ugly, and then bounce out.
Yeah.
Just come in for a pop in and shit. Triggs, it's always good to have you too, brother.
Of course, brother.
Thank you for making it today. I know you're a tired man.
Dude, I literally took like a little half-hour nap right before this, and I was just like, okay, man, let's fucking get it.
To all of you guys, thank you outside that are out there in the comments land and in the internets and the interwebs watching us, checking us out, and hanging out with us on the Sunday night. We appreciate every one of you. To our extraordinary listeners, thank you for tuning in with us every week. We appreciate you guys. We hope you have a safe week, and we hope you have a fucking awesome week. And we see you again here on the podcast next Sunday, the Average Boys Podcast. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys again next week. Laters.
Peace.